All right. Hello, everyone. Whoa. Already about lost my camera there. Welcome back to Beyond the Veil. I'm excited to be sharing with you guys a lot of stuff that is going to really make you think. Um, but before I do, I want to welcome everyone, get my chat box pulled up here. I've been once again just nonstop, like up until right now. I had so much mess happen. I had to change my monitor out and all this stuff in the last 10 minutes. That's why I wasn't chatting and doing my slides and all that stuff. I wasn't able to check all my stuff. So I was making sure everything was working. But as you know, I was still up most of the night posting. I think I made a post at like 11:30, 12 something. After going live for like 3 hours and 30 or 40 minutes. And then I just got thinking, and I was like, what in the world is going on right now? And whoa, you guys probably can't really hear me that good, huh? I think that's gonna work. So here's the thing. I've been very busy, nonstop, and all day long I had just had this constant thought on my mind that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight. On top of about 30 or 40 other things that I have just kind of put together. And I'm telling you, this stuff is just, man, some of you guys are going to think I'm crazy. Some of you guys are going to be like, wow, that makes perfect sense if you've been following along. Yeah, Miss Kelly, I saw that. Like I said, I didn't have any time to set up my stuff today because I had just been helping with everything and running the town and all this stuff because my wife and my child and Braden and just it's been a lot and I've just been busy, hence the darkness under my eyes. But let me say this, I don't want to get off track at all. I'm going to go on and go forward this. Welcome, Miss M. Welcome, Miss Kelly. Welcome, Miss Kim and Miss Karen and Lisa and Jason Cooley and Nina and Don and all you other guys. I can't just go up and down everywhere. Welcome. It's a good chance you're probably back because of something that I said from before, or either some post that I made today that was like, man, who is this crazy man? I'm just going to have to go figure out what he's all about. Okay. You have a lot to catch up on if this is your first video. Some of the stuff probably won't make sense to you if this is your first video. However, that doesn't mean you should get off of here. Hang tight. Okay. I want to say this. It's important that once again, before I even start these videos, we go to what the word says about how we should be right now. Okay. It's important that you know he tells us over and over and over in the Bible one thing consecutively, like no matter what. We're told to trust him and only him. You know, it started in the garden. He was like, hey, look, I'm going to tell you guys to do something and you're just going to have to trust me. Don't do it. Just trust me. Have faith in what I say. And when you say something, you give someone a word. Hence Christ walking in the garden, but he hadn't revealed who he was yet. Hence the I am. So, my thing with that whole thing is this. When things happen in your life that are rough, that's when faith is needed. When things fall apart, that's when faith is needed. When you lose someone you love, that's when faith is needed. When you're going through a divorce and you're really thinking that you just might stand a chance, he even tells you then not to do that, but have faith and courage and endure. But we've changed the views of marriage and what marriage is today, so it's hard to do that. But he says have faith in what you're doing and what I say. And then he says in Proverbs 3:5, to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And he tells us word for word in Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But even more than all that, he tells us to do this. Take courage. Do not be afraid. Why are you afraid? What are you afraid of? He told Job, Job was like hearing these crazy revelations, and it was like just blowing his mind. And he was like in fear too as he was getting some of these things. And Job, like, the father starts telling Job through the son, man, can you do anything to Leviathan? Can you handle the beast of the sea? Can you put a hook in its jaw? Can you pierce its armor, its scales? Can you do any of that? And it's like, no. He's like, I can, and only I can. I created the Leviathan for his wrath, to show his punishment, to show those things. But you got to remember in your word, like I say this all the time, the pastors hate this verse because they have to explain it to the congregation in a messed up, twisted way. He says that he creates the light and he creates the darkness right there in your Bible. Hence the greater light and the lesser light right there in the beginning of your Bible. You have darkness over the face of the deep. Okay? That's the black sun over the waters. Okay, the first thing he created, and he tells you this over and over again. Christ is the only begotten, set apart son, as in the only one of his kind. Because it tells you later he had many sons that came down to mate with the women of the earth in Genesis 6. It tells you word for word that the sons of God came down to the daughters of man and created Nephilim. Okay, so you can't say that Satan's not God's son also, because he is. He's the black sun. And Christ is the light sun, the bright sun. And what is the sun? NASA tells you a sun is a star, a supernova star, like a bright, bright star, supposedly. And we know that stars are angels. And we know that angels are messengers. Hence why the Bible says, I will send a messenger. And then in Revelation says word for word to the angel of Thessalonica, or he says to the angel of the church of Ephesus, the people of Ephesus, to the one that's leading them in that flock. It's important to know those things. So in the beginning, God created the black sun. After he did what? Created the heavens. There's a separation. Even then, the Father, in all his glory, brought darkness into existence. Why? Because he already knew that we needed a choice. Why? Because he didn't want us to be robots. He didn't want people to be forced to love him. He wanted us to be able to choose because he loves us. So the first thing he does is he says, in the beginning, God gives you a choice. That's how the Bible is translated to me. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. What do you want? He says you can hate the world. Right? When he tells you, he said, he who loves the world will lose his life, but he who hates the world will gain what? The kingdom. He gives you a choice from the beginning. Do you want the kingdom or do you want the earth? So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He created the good and the bad. Hence why your pastors just simply say this when you ask them, what does it mean when the Bible says that he created the darkness and the light? He created the good and the evil. What does it mean when it says that in your Bible? Well, then he should simply point you to the beginning of the Bible. In the beginning, God created two lights. He created a lesser light and a greater light. One was a dark light, the first thing, the prince, hence the word prince. Okay. To rule over the what? The waters, the world. He is the ruler of the earth, hence the heavens and the earth. Okay, and the darkness upon it, the one that rules it, Satan. What is the earth? We covered that as well. Well, you can't have a thing above something without have a feminine underneath. So that's why he says in Job, in the beginning, I created the behemoth and the leviathan, which is a masculine and a feminine, which is Behemoth and Tiamat, which is Beowulf and Teowulf, which is all the others we covered in the past couple of days. Okay, so he did that. That's why he brought everything dark and bad and wrath through and wrath is what? What was underneath Satan? He brought that through what? The black sun. meaning this. That's why Loki, who is Satan in Nordic mythology, okay, has a child named Jormungandr, who is a girl, a woman, whom what? Well, that whole story you can go back and forth with this relationship twist. Hence the green that he wears, and then the scaliness of himself being the behemoth and her the Leviathan. Okay? Now, because of that, it's important to know this. Okay? Well, he looked down and he wanted a separation to take place. He was like, okay, I separated good and evil real quick from this, light and dark. But then I'm going to break it down even more. I'm gonna separate so Satan can't ascend up here anymore. I've got to put a barrier because the Atlantean kingdom, before the sun came and all the stars above where you could keep time like day and night and hours and weeks and all that stuff, that didn't exist in the Atlantean kingdom. Why? Because they only had the black sun over the face of the deep until the Spirit of God moved over the waters, and he pushed aside that darkness, which is Jupiter, Neptune, all those other gods that were water gods, Atlantean gods, before they were stars above. Okay? So, because of that, there's this. Through the darkness, he brought all the titans, all the wrath, all the evil. Hence, evil. Okay? Now, here's something to know. After that took place, he was like, well, since I have darkness over the face of the deep, it's time to bring some light into the world. I'm going to make something different than all those children and grandchildren I have, all those sons of God. I'm going to make something different. I'm going to set this one apart. Hence why Christ said, I am the light of the world. Christ is the light of the world. The Father is not the light of the world. The Father is the creator of all things, creates everything through the Son. The Father is this eternal power source. Hence why some translations say, I see the Son of God standing at the right hand of power. Because he is powerful. Indubitably he is. This is why Zeus is the one who creates the lightning, the blue flame fire, but Hercules is the one who comes in and wields the sword that was created by Zeus. This is why King Arthur had to pull a sword out that was not created of his own. This is why Moses had to take a staff that was created. Once again, there was books taken in the Bible for a reason. A staff that goes all the way back to the staff of Adam, which was used to plow the garden. So neither of them could take any credit for the work that he's doing. Hence why he says faith without works is dead. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your understanding. He says faith without works, his works, or the only works he wants, okay, is dead. Your works, they don't matter. That's why people can say, but didn't I go to church every Sunday? But didn't I go to the fellowship meetings on Wednesday? But didn't I do that? You can say, your definition of works is not my definition of works. He who is not producing fruit for the kingdom will be cut off and tossed into the lake of fire. Important to know what that means. Okay? That means this. There's a lot of talk in the beginning of the Bible about fruit and seeds, hence the seeds of Abraham and the seeds of Satan. When he says word for word in the beginning of the Bible, I will put enmity, hatred between your offspring, some translations even say seed, and her offspring, seed. Hence why Azazel, that dragon, who came in the form of man, because he had to do everything. Like Azazel came and he met at the top of the mountain and he said, hey, let's go down to the women of the earth. Okay? But then you read about this. You read about a third being who was a spirit form. What's that? Well, an ancient form. You need to realize, okay? To the garden. Who's that? Gadriel. And it says word for word. Gadriel, who deceived Eve in the garden and taught all the men the blows of death. Exactly what happened in the Bible. Hence the Freemasons worshiping the god Gadriel. Hence the Gad and the English word God. They want you saying their God, okay? Which is Gadriel. Okay? That's important to know. Just as the Father has 7 spirits before him, you read about his angels, protectors. You read about all of that in the Bible. It's up to you to piece that together and make sense of it. It's very simple. Okay? Then you read about Satan with his children in front of him. What's that? Well, that's the 7 deadly sins, each one of those being different. One of those being wrath, leviathan, gluttony, lust. Go from there. Each one of those are a child of Satan. Okay? And before that, before they were those things, they were titans in the Atlantean kingdom. And they were ugly. And they were big. And they were scary. We're going to be getting into that here soon. I keep saying about I want to name the titans for you, but there's a lot of other stuff I got to point out first. Okay? All that stuff is so important to know that the Father sent his Son, technically, Satan, first with the darkness over the face of the deep and created darkness through that, just like it says later in Job. Okay? I create the dark and I create the light. Okay? But everything good is created through Yeshua. Hence why after the darkness over the face of the deep and the separation, he brought light in the world, and he said everything good that was created after that was good until Adam complained. That was not good. Do you know that every time someone complained in the Bible, God put a curse on them? For example, remember when they were complaining about the manna? And you read that he sent the vipers upon them? Okay. We're going to be talking about that story tonight. We're going to be talking about, you remember when the people of Babylon the Great, Nimrod just means mighty man. I hope you know that. He became a Nimrod, a mighty man, okay? At 21 years old, he became that. Mighty man of heroes of old, meaning they're heroes of old living in the form of now and renown. Okay? Now, renown. Renown. Okay? Put it together. English is very simple to break down. Re-now. Re-vril. E-vril. Re-vrilling. Okay? Now, here's this. Because we know all that, we know that the Father sent darkness over the face of the deep first. The Father sent the darkness, Apollyon, the darkness destroyer. Father. What do you mean? Well, you remember when the dark clouds roll in, it's followed by the lightning, storm cloud. Hence why Zeus is the father of the Olympians, and also the father of the Antichrist Hercules, who is also the father of Ares, the god of war. Okay? Which is one of the children of Satan as well, if you want to piece that together. All of that stuff is, once again, there. I see somebody made a very big donation up here at the top, and I'm so sorry I missed it. That's Miss Kim. Thank you so much for helping out. That is amazing. Okay, so we're going to keep on going forward here. I want you guys to remember all that for tonight's live. The Father sent darkness over the face of the deep first, because he brings forth the dark and he brings forth the light. The preacher can't explain it to you because it's the blind leading the blind, okay? And then the Father sent the Son, Yeshua, the begotten one, the set apart, the bright morning star. First he sent the morning star, hence morning, before awake, before death, okay? He sent the morning star first, the black sun of Freemasonry, the lesser light, knowledge, wisdom. And because there was Leviathan underneath him, sexuality and perversion, because he had to create some children. This is why Satan is worshipped as the god of fertility, the god of wisdom, the god of knowledge, and all those things. The Father is the creator of all things, but you got to remember, he didn't make Satan stupid. Therefore, he brought forth knowledge first through who? Satan. Okay? This is why he is so ahead of the game also. But he can't do nothing about it because he has to remain in control of what he can. This is why he has to approach the throne of God and say, hey, what can I do? What can I do to Job? Can I do this, this, and this? But he's doing this. Can I do this? But they did this. Can I do this to them? And this is why he sent darkness, he created darkness to send upon Job for a testing. People in your church are going to hate that because it's not taught there, but it is what it is. He sent Satan back down to do all those things except for kill him. Read it. Now, that's important to know because that's never talked about, ever. Okay, that the Father ordains the dark or the Father ordains the light. You can't say he's in control of all things and then deny that. He is in control of Satan as well. It ain't no way around it. If not, he wouldn't take what the enemy means for evil and use it for good. That's called a lesson, a life lesson. He takes what the enemy means for evil. I know so many pagan 501c3 Sunday false worship churches that are singing that out loud and they don't even know what in the world that means. That means he takes a trial in your life, a hard one, a bad one, and he uses it for good. For example, he took my son drowning in a pool and me finding him face down and doing CPR on him to bring him back and me wanting to go against God to wake me up. He took the worst thing that could have happened. He allowed Satan to lead my son out there to that pool in the middle of that hurricane so that he could lead me to the Father through knowing what the Son did through me. I mean, through me. What he's doing through me right now. To know that I'm being used by him is everything. So imagine this. Imagine why Satan didn't feel like he did. He's like, man, I'm the first thing brought into existence. I'm bringing all this crazy stuff into existence. I'm going to try to be like him next. And now imagine this. Now imagine being the begotten, set apart Son of God and being so humble. It sounds like complete opposites, right? Because it's supposed to. Satan is the opposite of Christ. One is darkness. One is light. One is a light, a black light. Okay? This is why the bugs are drawn to the light until they're zapped, the artificial light, the electric kingdom light, the blue light. Okay? The bugs love that thing. They go to it, zap, they die. Okay? But do you see anybody flying to the sun? Or do you see the sun giving life? Okay? This is why Ra was worshipped as the black sun. That's why I say red sun disk above his head. It is indeed a sun, but it's the red sun, the dark sun, Apollyon, the bringer of darkness, the one who causes the eclipse. This is why Ra was worshipped as eclipse worship, because he could darken the sun and open and close Apep in his prison and in her prison. He was in charge of that. Hence Apollyon, the bringer of wrath, the bringer of destruction, the bringer of darkness, the black sun. But remember, he's a light bearer. The thing about the dark kingdom, the black kingdom, the kingdom of Atlantis is this a sunken kingdom. It says it. Okay, it's a sunken kingdom. It's known for being a sunken kingdom, meaning it's in a dark place. This is why the Atlanteans were known for having the white hair, blue eyes, fair skin. They had no melanin. They had no true sunlight, real light, set apart light. Like that's beaming on me more and more as I talk right now. Sunlight and darkness over here. Crazy. It'll completely change your mood getting in the sun, but you get in a dark corner, it's horrible. Okay, I love seeing that you guys are kind of just chilling in that chat box right now. I don't even like seeing that thing floating up and down so much, but I like seeing if you're paying attention. I see 118 of you sitting here. Awesome. Okay. Now, to know that Apollyon is the black sun's child. He is Zeus's child. Okay, who slays Python. Okay, Hercules, blonde hair, blue eyes, is Zeus, the blue light, black sun beneath the earth that goes to and fro and up and down in the earth. Okay, is the son of Zeus, and his brother is Ares. Okay, now this is where this gets important. There's always a good son and there's always a bad son. Meaning this. This is why in the garden he said, look, I'm going to put enmity, hatred, violence, and war between your offspring, Satan, and the child's and the seed line of man, her. He said that, but he also said it's going to come a day where you're going to have a seed in this world, and she's going to have a seed in this world, and they're going to go at war with each other. Okay? This is why the Freemasons took the Book of Jubilees out. Because of this. Your pastor has told you that Cain and Abel were twins. No, they're not. It's important to know that Cain was not born until 200 years later. Cain was born in the year 200. Okay? Why is that important? Because the righteous one, supposedly, was born 7 years later. Cain was the first brought in. Now, was Cain brought in a good, sinless world? Or was he in one that was cursed at first? His mom and dad had just sinned real bad. They tried to cover themselves with fig leaves, but instead the father covers them with fur of an animal, a beast, and casts them out of the garden. It's strange that I told you guys in other texts that are taken out, Eve turns into a half snake, right? A beast. Hence, everything we've discussed. Hence why the language that Christ spoke, Aramaic, means word for word snake when you say Eve. So if Christ was ever talking to his disciples about Eve, which is not brought up in the Lamb's Book of Life, it's important to know that because she gets slayed at the end of time. That's why you read about her in Genesis, but after that, when the Lamb's Book of Life was breathing forth, okay, you don't read about Eve anymore. Not in your 66 books. Okay? Now, here's this. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Well, because of everything we're going to talk about tonight is why. Remember this, though. In the beginning, in the garden, Adam means God's blood. And it was breathed in dirt and dust created from the dust of the earth. That makes sense when you think about this. The dust of the earth was Pangea that was pulled up from the deep. There was darkness over the face of the deep, but Pangea wasn't there yet. She was below, but it got pulled up. Okay? She was the one that was in charge of everything underneath. This is why the Jormungandr guards the heart of the earth. This is why the rib was taken out of Adam, because it guards the heart, the chamber. It's the chamber of the heart. This is why Eve was cursed to guard the heart of the earth. Okay? What does that matter? Well, because Adam literally means A, alpha, gods. Okay? Blood is, all right, dumb is D-A-M, okay, is this. Ruby, red, Roth, like Rothschilds. That's why it's like red children. The Rothschilds are red children. Okay? So why that matters. They're little red children. They're little red kids. Okay? So this is Adam, kids, masculine, man, Adam, God's blood. Okay? But then you have the red's blood that we were just talking about as well. That's the red dragon. Now, it's important to know this. Everything we've talked about, Satan is the red dragon. Leviathan is the blue dragon. You guys ever played Pokemon? Did you ever wonder why they made a red Gyarados and a blue Gyarados? And the red Gyarados was King Gyarados. And the blue Gyarados helped Asher, which you talked about Asher and Asheroth. The blue Leviathan helped Asheroth catch all those Pokemon and help them cross the sea of the deep. Okay. Anyway, that's why there's a behemoth and a leviathan, a masculine and a feminine. Okay? Now, tonight is really going to blow your mind. I haven't really talked about nothing yet. The first thing we're going to do is get over the, we're going to talk first about what I said we were going to do today, and that is the decode of what's behind me. And then we can get in a whole bunch of other stuff. If I don't get to the extra stuff today, because my goal is to only go an hour and a half tonight, okay? Whatever I get through, I'm going to stop, okay? And we'll continue through. And I kind of got a plan for tonight, okay? There's a whole lot of extra stuff I want to tell you about. But I got to tell you about some even crazier stuff first, okay? So while I have 133 of you up here right now, I'm going to ask you guys before I get going, if you could just get a little jump in this algorithm, if you guys could hit that like button or the share button or the notification bell, or just go button crazy like a little kid in the elevator down there, okay? And do that for a quick sec. You ain't even got to like get off the screen. And I'm going to be pulling up this in the background. If you could just do that for me, I'll continue forward telling you guys a bunch of amazing, mind-blowing stuff that you'll never hear on any other channel or in a temple built by the hands of man that Stephen died to tell people to stop. Okay. Here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to be pulling up our movie. Now, I'm going to say this because I have to. This is for entertainment purposes only. Anything I say can and will be used against the devil in the court of law. I don't own any rights or copyrights to anything. I'm using it for informative purposes only. Okay, so that's awkward. I want to go past it. I'm trying to avoid this because every single video they go and delete and chop up my videos and literally just try to tear them up. And you guys like, man, you suck at videos. And I look and like none of my stuff is even in the video. It's cut into a billion pieces. So that's why I tell you guys to be here on the live. So if you get off of here and you come back, you're probably not going to see the same videos you're going to see right now. I'm telling you, I only have an hour left with you guys. You're going to love this. Hang in there. It's going to be a lot. For example, the first thing I'm going to present to you guys is this. Okay? I do want to make sure I'm seeing what you guys are seeing. Yep. Okay. I'm going to hit play. You ready? I'm going to take me off of this. You guys, I have the CG. I'm having this up on purpose. I'm talking about the creators of this. Okay. Let me see if you guys are. I have YouTube put. I'm talking about. It's working. Okay. Look, guys, it's here. Okay. Now, this is what I want you to look at. I see what you guys are looking at. I have my phone with me tonight. Okay. I don't want me up here. I want you guys to see the screen. So I'm taking myself off. the world? I don't know why that's not going right now. Okay, so I have another way we can do this then. I don't know why that's not. All right, so here we go. Don't worry about it. That'll be edited out as well. So if you're watching this, it is what it is. Okay. So I have a different way to do this. Plan B. Okay. I'm going to stop that screen share and I'm going to present my full screen. Okay. And this is going to be crazy. Okay. Share. Now, here we go. Okay. Yeah, my audio is good. I just checked it. All right. Awesome. Now, you're seeing what I'm seeing. I know my audio is working. I hear it. It is what it is. They're going to try and fight me on this. Just know that. Just by YouTube seeing this behind me is causing them to listen in on this video. Okay? It is what it is. So, here we go. If you guys are ready for this, because they're going to try their best. All right, so the way I'm going to do this now is we are going to pull it up a different way. That's so much stuff. Goodness gracious. Oh, God. Where is you at? Man. I'm so sorry. I don't know why in the world. Let me see if this is working like this. Did it black out? Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay. But I don't think my audio will work. Okay, here we go. Really don't want to do it like this because YouTube has their way, but I'm gonna have to do it like this. Hate how they're not letting me play my video. I sit there and work so hard down. Okay, we'll go through it later. So you want to learn how to find this video? Just go here. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. I'm just gonna have to mute this, and I'm gonna have to pull my screen up a different way. So here we go. Please don't drop off the video. Just hang on a second. So here we go. Add to stage. Sweet. Let me make sure you guys are okay. Okay, now here we go. Just make sure you guys are seeing everything I'm seeing. Okay, yes, you are. Sweet. Okay, here we are. Now I'm going to actually put this in a different speed as well. We're going to go with, go with that. Actually, I'll slow it down. We'll do that. Okay, so here we go. Make sure my audio is working. We are good. It's working this time. Okay, sweet. Whew. That was a lot of work, a lot of attention. You guys are so picky about this stuff, and you expect me to learn how to do all this stuff by myself and everything. I'm trying. I don't have an audio tech guy or nothing like that. So here we go. You ready? Everybody hear me all good? Now, you see what I'm talking about here, okay? This is the creators of iPet Go 2 right here. Okay, the CG Bros. Okay, why does this matter? Okay, here's what I was telling you. Do you remember that I was telling you guys that in the beginning there was darkness, the bringer of darkness, over the face of the deep? There was a behemoth and there was a leviathan. Okay, the behemoth was a male, the leviathan was a female. The behemoth was Atlas holding up the firmament, okay? Because the deep was pushed outside of the firmament, hence the darkness above the dome. And the G is the water that was left up under the dome. But what you can see is at the bottom of the G, which would technically be at the right side of this G, there's darkness mixed in down there. Blackness on the right side of this bottom part of the G that mixed in with a male figure and penetrating the heart of this earth with a dome structure above it. Okay. Now, are you seeing this? In the beginning, there was darkness over the face of the deep. Okay. Yes, you can see my mouse. Awesome. I can see this. There was darkness over the face of the deep. The darkness, the behemoth, impregnated the Leviathan, the goddess of the deep, giving birth to what? After the dome was created, he gave birth to what? Land came forth from the darkness. And then after that, you got to realize then there was light in the world. This is when good was started to be created. Okay. After the land was brought up, good things started to be created through the good sun, the greater light. Okay. Awesome. These are the creators of iPet Go 2. I bet you have never heard this decode, and we ain't even hit play yet. That's awesome to me. But here we go. I'm going to go on a little bit further forward. Here we go. We're at least going to hit play. Some of you guys are like, whoa, this decode is crazy. We're at 0.02 seconds. So these are the creators. We're going to be talking about them here momentarily. Okay? In the opening parts, here is what we got going on. Okay? First of all, it's important to know, okay, this is a prison. Hence the barbed wire, the lights set up inside, okay? But there's different boxes spread around inside of this prison in darkness. Okay, everything's dark. There is a prison and there's different boxes, okay? Now, this is important. Immediately, what I'm already seeing once again is a hole into an abyss, okay? Right? And we know what comes out of the hole in the abyss. Exactly what we were talking about earlier. Bel, okay? Also known as Beowulf, Baelmont, Baphomet, okay? Baelmet, all those things. This is why you stab, you kill, you pierce with a bayonet on the end of your rifle, shooting iron and steel. Okay? A net is, he's caught that person in death. Bayonet. Bayonet. Okay? You penetrate him in the heart, he's got him in the net. He's bringing the death, bringing the destruction. Okay? Now, I want you to understand what else is happening. Everybody overlooks this. Everything I ever talk about, they have the same light blue eyes and light brown or blonde hair. This is blonde hair. If you don't know, I have 4 goats outside right now. We can take the camera out there. This is blonde hair, okay, on their skin right here. This is blonde. It's just the whites beside it making it look darker than what it is. This is dirty blonde. Blonde hair, blue eyes, light-bearing goat, hiding in his box. Okay, hiding in his box. Why is he hiding? Why is his eyes light blue and blonde hair? Well, because he was hiding in the abyss. He's hiding in the darkness. Okay, this is why at the bottom you have a man down there with a hat on and a gun, weapon, and a hat. But you also have the one eye symbolism. This man with the hat on is purposely covering up the eye. We're going to talk about the real tonight and how it's from beginning to end of this. This is the Beowulf, Bayonet, Baphomet, goat coming out of the abyss. This is the Antichrist underneath down here at the bottom. He's got his war, his weapon, and he's got his dog. Okay, right there. This is where he's got his pet in the abyss, just waiting to come out in the prison of the 15-minute city. Looks like there was darkness. It looks like the sun stopped shining, so they found a new power source to put on these lights as well. I don't see no sun or no moon. Now, here we go. It's about to get nuts, guys. Okay, And you also see the mark on his forehead. By the way, I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm going to have that translated for you in a little bit so I can get you to understand that as well. And I want you to understand they purposely do everything, including this upside down crescent moon underneath the... Anyway, let me just keep on going. And by the way, if you don't believe this is Baal the goat, he has a bell around his neck. Okay? Has a bell around his neck. This is Baal the goat. This is the bayonet, Beowulf, Bear. Okay, right there, Baal. It doesn't get any more obvious. It just is what it is. I don't know if you guys have heard this on Decode. But there you go. We still are only 11 seconds in. Now he's drunk. It says Babylon the Great will become drunk with the wines and the fornications. Who brings forth those things? Well, that's the goat here. Okay. Now it's important to know why he does these things, so that we could, the Rome motto is give them bread and they will be entertained. Give them a circus also in the background. They will be entertained. Now they have give them the movie theaters and the radio. Do you guys know where radio comes from? The word Ra means above, and it was first found in 1877. Important time. That's when that word was first found by some Freemasons who discovered it in a Egyptian pyramid. Why does that matter? That Ra means above. Well, Ra was the one that was in his chariot above the face of the earth. Ra in his chariot that goes up and down and to and fro on the earth. Ra, above. He's above all else. That's why his name was Ra first. And he had a falcon head. Okay? He was the falcon. And Eve, Lilith, when he became that, she became a hawk. An owl. Okay? When he became an eagle, when he became a moth, she also became a moth. We're going to talk about some crazy stuff tonight, guys. I hope you're ready for it. There's always a masculine and a feminine beast in the world that you're going to read about. There's always a Diana. There's always a Cleopatra. There's always a Pharaoh. There's always a Ramses. Once again, Ramses. Ramses all. Once again, in Ramses, you have Ra. Ra, me, see. Ramesses. Ram, I see. Okay? It's important to see all that stuff in your face. Okay? Pharaoh. We talked about Fa and the pharmacy and their needles and their vaccines and their hollow reed injections. Okay? Pharaoh. You're on death row. Okay? Now, going a little further. He's drunk on the wine of Babylon. Now, why does this matter? Well, the cubes. Cube worship is Saturn worship also. Hence Satan, Saturn, the cubes, the Mecca. Okay? Now, red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in his sight. So what this is you have all the colors of the world. Red and yellow, black and white. And you have the black mixed in with all the colors except for the white. The white is left spotless, white as snow. But if you see the ones with the letters on it, they aren't white. They are gray. This is where the greens, the blues, the grays come. When the gray happens, that's a mixture of black and white. But these whites are pure, white as gold. And it seems like few are there. Seems like there's only two amongst many. Now, do you see the 666 mark on his forehead? It says that he will force everyone to take, or you'll have to die. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about first this. This is not just a ring with an S on it. This is Big Pharma. This is Pharaoh. This is death row. This is the Big Pharma putting you on death row. This is the snake, the bronze serpent, hence the breath, brazen, the bronze serpent that was lifted up in the wilderness and killed by Moses so that the people who looked upon it would be healed from getting bit by all the vipers. This here is Satan getting killed at the end of time. This is the promise, and he knows it. Hence why Lucifer is always his son, his blood, his son, okay, is always blue in Egypt culture, but all the statues are always made of copper. Copper is blue blood. It causes you to have a blue pigment, which is why Megamind has blue skin. He's a blue blood and the only one of his kind. Okay. Blue creatures, blue blood, copper-based serpentines, the brazen serpent lifted up on the pole, the stake, the tree. Okay, boom. Now, here's this. Okay, he's got the blood of the saints on his hands here as he's controlling what? Well, we'll see. Okay. Now look, when he's controlling things, do you notice the white cubes, the white boxes are gone? The blood of the saints. Here's the blood, and the saints are missing. Well, if you don't remember, I'll show you. There was white boxes. It wasn't just a background. There was a few white, pure, spotless amongst them. But once the devil has blood on his hands, things change. See the white fade away. I have blood on my hands, and now I have the cross, the black cross. Okay? Now, please. Okay. Now, deep stuff. Well, now I need you guys to remember all my Pokemon. I mean, all my Pinocchio decodes, and I told you that Pinocchio represented the Antichrist being controlled by the blue parasite Jiminy Cricket, the locust, inside of his right eye or inside the heart of his chest. Okay, he was the alternate personality, and this is why if you watch the dark Pinocchio, he's given 9 lives, but on the 10th one, it was cut short. Okay, he wanted to be a real boy, so every time he went to the underworld, he was approached by a mermaid, blue, serpentine woman with the bell horns. Okay, which is everything that Eve, Lilith, all those were, once again, like I've been trying to tell you guys, turn them to. Now, once again, here's your president of that time, being controlled by Satan, like Pinocchio. He ain't pulling the strings. But I need you to pay attention to the red ties. The red ties are always important. Okay? This outfit right here is so important. Okay? And I need you to pay attention to Biden and his blues. And notice the blues and reds and how they make purple all the time, which is confusion. Okay? We're going to be talking about that a lot after this video once we go on a little further. Okay? We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in the background as well. All right? First thing is this. I don't know if any other decoder has seen this, but this isn't just a light shining on the Antichrist who's being controlled by Satan. But what it is it's a star. You can see here clearly on the checkerboard Freemason, the power of light and darkness, you have a star. Okay? This right here is the star. But it's not just a star. If you look at how this star is, it's the upside down star. Okay, where if the class is looking at the instructor, they see the top of the star facing them. This is the Eastern Star of Freemasonry. We're going to be talking deeply about that. We're also going to be talking about the shape of snowflakes, okay, and how we know this, that takes the shape of what everybody has been deceived by, the Star of Ephraim. It's not the Star of David. The Israel Star, Isis, Ra, and Baal, their son, okay, the blood of Ra. Israel, the created place that was created in these days to deceive everybody. There was no Israel created in the Bible, okay? It was a people. They created it only 75 years ago when they made all this fake land everywhere, and they got everybody thinking they're in the place they are. This is why they will claim to be Jews but are not in a land made up, okay? They created Israel 75 years ago when you guys weren't paying attention in the middle of the wars. The Zionists went over there and massacred over 860,000 Palestinians to create Israel, the house of Rothschild, the house of the red children. the synagogue of Satan, the brood of vipers. Sin, O Gog. So that's Gog over there. We are Magog. We're MAGA. We're Make America Great Again. We're the land of the feathered serpent. And it's the mystery that we are the promised land of the Bible because everybody thinks it's so. And yet I've proven on my decodes on my Facebook page that we are indeed the promised land. Okay? Now, do you know why Jews is a word? Because this is for entertainment purpose, and I don't mean this in any type of way. There's a reason why they have you all against saying, don't say that the Jews killed Jesus. The Zionists love that. I mean, not the Zionists, the people love saying that now. The Zionists, they're like, don't say that the Jews did that because they want to bring in their Judaism, where they worship one God and they do away with the Son. And anyone who claims that Christ was the Messiah and the Son of God will have their head chopped off when Noahid's happening in the middle of all this. If you claim Christ is the Son of God, he is the Messiah. If you claim that, Judaism, which is Noahide before Christ, they did not accept Christ. Okay? They were the synagogue of Satan that did not accept Christ. If you say, I believe that Yeshua is the Christ, the Son, I believe that Christ is the Messiah, the Son of God, if you say that in the coming days when the Sabbath is officially changed to the Sunday once again, just like they did on the 66th day of the year in 321, which is 6 AD, year of the Lord, on the 66th day of the year when Constantine, a Jesuit, okay, who literally was still into Greek worship gods, okay, he worshiped the sun, and this is all in your history. You can go look this up yourself. He was still in sun worship when he did this. He changed the Sabbath to Sunday for the venerable day of the sun. Look it up yourself. Because in the Bible, it says clearly that the Sabbath is God's mark in Ezekiel 20. I gave them the Sabbath as their mark, their sign for all generations in eternal covenant, for everlasting, everlasting, age to age, no matter what. This is why Christ, the I am, that the Father created everything through in the beginning, okay? This is why he kept Sabbath, because it was his Father's will. And Christ is the Lord of the Sabbath, okay? That's why he keeps it. And he was the only one that could keep it when he walked too. Okay, that being said this, okay? You got to keep going, okay? Because there's a lot here. Watch this. Okay. Now, once again, this is give them bread, give them circus, and they will be entertained. You're going to pick up on so much. Now, if you pay attention, you can see clearly that's the best pose, who this man is. Okay? This is where I always pause this. Number one is the clearest shot of George W. Bush Jr. Okay? This is George W. Bush Jr. here. But that's not what I want you to look at. What I want you to look at is the map over there to the left. I wonder if anybody's ever talked about this in their decodes. Well, here's this. I've been telling you guys I've been watching a lot of Godzilla, both the old cartoons, the new ones, and reading a mess load of comics. You know where they attack? Well, the first one, just like in Pacific Rim, was right off the Gulf of Mexico. Just like in Pacific Rim, I showed you guys right off the Gulf of Mexico, where the oil rig went missing. Do you remember? I told you guys in that decode, I was like, you remember when that oil rig went missing in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? Just like in the Pacific, I mean, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, just like in the Atlantic Rim movie. Well, there's where that was. Okay? And then remember, that place right there is also where it ended up coming up on the land in Atlantic Rim. And then it also came up in Myrtle Beach. And then it came up in New York City. Okay? Those pins on that map over there are where I believe kaiju attacks are going to take place. Starting off. Hence the flooding that's supposed to happen up there in New York and this East Coast all over here and all across the bottom. Well, something big bulging in the water would cause a big tsunami, huh? Especially in those places, just like the old Navy flood map. It would also cause everybody on these coasts to run in and flee to the mountains. Okay? All right. Now, This is gross. This is disgusting. I hate having stuff like this on my page. If you have children, I'm sorry. Cover their ears and eyes for a sec. If you look at the top, you see some perverted stuff up there. Okay? Very perverted stuff. You see that thing spraying its seed out. But do you see what's erased slightly off of that board? Well, that's a square. The compass, well, just the square right there that is peeing toward. But not just that, it's also peeing toward exactly what I'm telling you, the Meg, which I was telling you also was the second one released, and the Meg fought the Kraken also in Godzilla. Not Godzilla, in the Meg 2. In the Meg 2, no, the Meg the Trench. In Meg the Trench, the Meg came up as the biggest one ever, and he fought the Kraken on the shore. It was nuts. Split it up in a million pieces. Okay, so you have this mixing of seed in the sea. Okay, creating what? I've been telling you guys, in World War I, World War II, we were skirt bombing. Okay, bottom bombing the ocean with nuclear radiation, with whatever you want to call it, hydrogen bombs. It doesn't matter. They were releasing nuclear waste 140 times in only 40 years beneath the Pacific Ocean. They were putting nuclear energy, which is what feeds Godzilla, by the way, which is what I told you. The Titans living in the heart of the earth, the Atlanteans, they only needed the black sun for their life, for their energy. Okay. This is why the Atlanteans had the blue light and they lived under the earth. Okay. And this is why the etheric energy and stuff that existed was the taking in of that power source. Okay. That was given the way it was supposed to be and not worship. This is why they need children and adults. They scare the mess out of them. They get their adrenaline up, and that adrenaline is the God gene, okay, in you, that when we are weak, he is strong. They want that because that's what they will feed on, okay? What's that? Well, the power of the dust of the earth, from the underneath the earth, the black sun. Remember, it says Hades and Maui. I stole you fire down from below. So you can have whatever. He stole the fire from down below. Well, that's what he did. Okay, that's why Hades has the blue flame fire on top of his head as he's in his black chariot in the sky on Hercules. Okay, so this is the mixing of the seed of Satan, the demon, the sea demon. Okay, and I believe, which I don't want to get into the Titan stuff yet because that stuff is very, very deep and kind of freaky. This is the mixing of the seed in Freemasonry, the synagogue of Satan up here, and also the sea. Okay. Now, what we have here on this right side is not just somebody getting hung. He's missing a leg. Why does that matter? Well, we talked about all the people missing things. Like in the Bible, it tells you to cut off certain things. If they cause you to sin, cut off your hand, pluck out your eye, okay? And then there's this. The pirates are always missing an eye or they're missing a hand. Captain Hook, okay? Jack Sparrow, we got Captain Barbossa and his leg. We got all of them sinful peoples that went into the underworld and were missing a leg, okay? What this is here is the killing. The killing of the ones who stand up for what they're supposed to. Their right leg was causing them to sin, and they cut it off. Meaning this, if we don't take the mark of the beast, we're going to have a body member cut off. These people refused to accept the sin that was in their life. They cut it off. And because they cut off their leg with the Eve right here beside it, from evolve. You know where the word evolve comes from? Because it's the mother evolving, giving birth to abominations from the bottom of the deep. Evolve. Eve's love. That's what it is. Eve love. Eve's love gives birth to abominations. Eve's love gives birth to the abominations. Okay? So once again, this is another Semiramis Tammuz. Another... you wait until I get into these you others in a little bit. I don't want to confuse anybody that's new here. Okay? This is another mother-son antichrist figure here, maybe. Okay? Christ figure, I meant. Okay? Because remember, it's her seed. Her seed will be crushed by his seed. Okay? His seed will crush her seed. Okay? What's going to happen? And this one is obviously the seed of man, because he did what the Father's will was. And the cube of Satan, which is a black cube, it is what hung the one who followed the teaching of the word. Now, here's this. Do you remember I told you that Eve is the one that the Freemasons worship as Lilith, the owl, also up here that you see, the owl of Ishtar, the Ishtar owl, the Lilith owl, the Eve owl, the one that the children have to bring an apple to the front of the class to the owl teacher, okay? They have to bring the apple to the owl to get wisdom, okay, as she teaches her children abomination in the school systems. Okay, everybody's like, that's Molech. No, it's not. Eve was turned into an owl to rule the night, but Satan ruled the world. Okay, the light bearing. Okay, behemoth. He ruled the face of the world, hence why he was the hawk that can see in the day. He was turned to a hawk, she was turned to an Eve during this one. See, remember, the beast has a certain amount of heads that look like a bunch of different things. Well, the other beast that comes up only has 3 heads. This is why Jormungandr is only known with 3 heads. Okay, and when I'm with the head wound and all that stuff, too, like, there's a reason why. There's a reason why Ra is worshipped with a hawk head. There's a reason why Nimrod was worshipped as an ape later. Okay, there's a reason why Nebuchadnezzar was turned to a beast in the field for 7 years also. Okay, this is why you can go on and on with all the stuff we've decoded lately about all the people that were turned into beast. And then people want to wonder what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast is mixing with his seed with us. This is why they use King Cobra venom. In the smack scene that they were given, it was King Cobra venom, the king of cobras, King Cobra venom, and mRNA wrapped tightly together. That way, when a frequency goes off with these big towers, it's going to activate whatever it is that mRNA, that nanotechnology is holding back. It's going to set it loose inside of whoever is taking that one, and it's going to turn them into whatever that King Cobra wants to turn them into. Hence the movie Sweet Tooth. They took vaccines and they started turning into animals. This is why Cain was marked as a beast and to be a wanderer of the earth. Okay? And the Neanderthals looked like apes, cave dwellers. Okay? This is... Anyway, we got to get past this scene a little bit because we're not even far in this at all. Going a little further. That's all about Synagogue of Satan. Don't forget to look at that star. If you're like a big Israel, the House of Satan, the Synagogue of Satan, if you're a fan of that big old show that's going on over there in Israel, the big dummy show that's happening over there in Israel, the fake show, if you're falling for that fake show of the synagogue of Satan that we're putting on over there, then maybe you'll have a different view now. Now, why would it have snowflakes? I've been telling you guys this, all right? It's going to be a very hot summer, and it's going to be a very cold winter. They're going to bring a lot of bad stuff. Remember in Hercules, when the Titans came up from the abyss, it was 1 for earth, 1 for water, earth for fire, 1 for earth, water, wind, and fire, okay? The first one was like, I will shake them, I will stomp them, I will crush them, okay? And it was the earth one, big Titan, okay? The Titan of earthquakes, I guess. Then there's the one that with the hoarfrost, okay? That froze the land, okay? And then there was the wind when he says, I'll blow them away. And it comes through with a big old tornado. You guys wondering why the storms are going all crazy right now? It's the storm god, okay? This is the wrath of the storm god and his children, okay? Being released, and darkness coming over the face of the earth in his days. And it's going to be a lot of destruction. Earth, water, wind, and fire, okay? Going to be bad. This is why you see in the movie 2012, what happened? Well, everything, the geostorm, all that stuff, and it caused it to all of a sudden just freeze. You guys ever seen Moonfall? When the artificial moon fell and it caused the Titans to come up from the ground? You guys ever seen the 100 and the beginning of the 100 when they came down and there was like those beasts there at first? It was a giant water snake. That, who had to slay? Blonde hair, blue eyed Clark. had to slay that beast that was in there. I think it was like an octopus thing that was in the water source on episode 1 of the 100. Okay? So, here we go. Now, why does it show the checkerboard floor? That's the confusion. What can I do? Darkness or light? And what he's doing is saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. He says it again because that's dumb. Okay, hence the dummy. Do you know what a dummy is? A dummy, a correct term uses of the word dummy, is a ventriloquist holds a dummy and he controls its mouth. Hence the dummy hat. This is the dummy for the devil that he is controlling. Okay? All right. Israel is not occupying Palestine. There is the synagogue of Satan. There is the synagogue of Isis, Ra, and Baal, created by the language of the beast. Now, this does not say evolution. This is what? Okay? We have evil separated by the cross, the Ankh, the T. Okay? Now, do you guys know how many times I've covered the importance of Old Saint Nick and Niklaus and Nicholas and Dom and Dominic and Dominate? And the importance of this, don't forget, this is evil. This is the Ankh of Osiris. This is not only, man, this is a lightning bolt. This is a S and a Z, however you want to look at it, just like the lightning bolt here. This is the lightning bolt of Zeus, just as this is the lightning bolt of Zeus, causing the war of Gog and Magog. Hence, the dragon of Leviathan is involved in all of it. So you have literally darkness, you have Zeus, Satan, splitting, causing the division between a sheep and a goat. And you also have a releasing of an old ancient serpent dragon right here. Okay? Hence this. I'm trying to tell you, this is a lightning bolt, a turned one. This is a lightning bolt, a turned one. Now watch this. You guys are going to love this. All right, I hope this works. Let's see. Where are all my tabs at? Okay. I'm going to pause this here. Okay, and we're going to talk about a lightning bolt real quick. Okay, who has a lightning bolt represented by as Satan? Okay, here's some fun for you guys. All right. Okay, so first thing I want to do is show you. Let's go through it like this. Let me get you guys on my other screen here. This is really gonna be good. I can't wait. All right, let's focus on characters with that Z, that lightning bolt, or the perversion of S. Now, do you remember, you guys, I was telling you about that company that created iPet Goat? Do you know who else was involved? E3. Okay. Why does that matter? Well, there's man and woman, M and W. You take the M, the masculine, okay, and you have the feminine underneath. You have as above the masculine, as below the feminine. M and W are mirrored, okay? They are mirrored. Just as the creators of iPet Goat, who worked at the Fallen Angels Los Angeles Convention Center to put this on supposedly every year, and then they put it off the last 3 years, is this E3. Okay? Interesting, right? Because of this is what I'm getting at. Oh wait, I didn't show you guys. I had the wrong. Hold on. This is the company that was working hand in hand with. Sorry, with. You're gonna love this. Let it pull up. I think it's pulling up. Yes. Okay. This is the company that was working hand in hand with the CG I was telling you about earlier, which is important. Okay. So what's important about this is you have the colors of flash and kid flash as well. Okay. You have flash and kid flash as well. Now, let me see here. Hold on one second. I want to make sure it's working. Can't see. Should be working now. What the hell? It says that it's showing on my screen on my end, and it's not on you guys. So I don't. Okay, here we go. I think I'll be able to do it like this. I'm just gonna have to move this thing around a little bit. There we go. Now, here we go. All right. Bam. E3 electronic Electra is the if you talk about Mortal Kombat, think about Electra, okay? Electra, okay? You got the blue flame of the underworld, Hades, okay? And you have Ra. Electra is a female from Mortal Kombat, okay? And we know about Ra, the above, the king of the electric kingdom, okay? Then we have entertainment. This is why I brought up radio earlier. The word Ra means above, and it also is the god of the air, the lord of the air, Ra, Satan. Dio means God. Now, every time you listen to the radio, every time you say radio, you're saying above God, the ruler and power of the air that is manipulating and controlling the masses. Okay, that's important. Okay, I want to say that again. When you say, I'm going to go listen to the radio, I'm going to go listen to the Ra, I'm going to go listen to the Satan, I'm going to go listen to the above God. And you wonder why the music industry is being controlled. You go listen to the radio, the radio, the Ra God, the above God. Okay? Now, here we go. Now, this is where the word radius comes from as well. Ra, Dios. That means that Ra controls, and you have the Dios again, which means God of all, God of the whole, God of this area. Okay? So when you're saying that he controls this radius or radius, you're saying that same thing. That's crazy. Okay? Know that. The perversion of everything is right here. But the main thing is this. Remember I've been telling you guys about Kid Flash and the Flash? Well, the Flash, the red Flash, has his lightning bolt. Kid Flash is the yellow Flash that has a red lightning bolt. The Flash has a yellow lightning bolt. Just like the one of the underworld, Ra, has a red sun, the one above has a yellow light sun. Okay? This is why this matters. Once again, you have opposites. And if you know the Flash, Flash's enemy also is yellow with a red light, red sun, black sun. That's why Flash, the time traveler, the lightning rod, Nimrod, the mighty man, Zeus, okay, the ruler of the air, okay, you see where this is going? With his yellow sun, with the yellow sun, and then we have the red sun of the underworld, okay, right there. But this is the company that's tied in Los Angeles at the convention center with, and it's the expo, they have their expos there as well, with the company that created iPad Go. Okay, now, why does that matter? Well, both of those show the same thing, as above, so below, happening. Okay, masculine and feminine as well. Now, let's get back to the video. Right here, and share. All right, ready for this? Let's keep going. So like I said, what is the dragon guarding? The dragon is causing a separation from them and the heart. of the earth. Okay? So once again, you have the war of Gog and Magog, the two nations, the two sides, the synagogue of Satan versus the synagogue of man. Okay? Split in half by Zeus, the lightning rod of Satan. So wrath, Leviathan, is coming on to the black. Darkness is arising. Look at the nose of the dragon is coming into their realm. You have Leviathan, the sea serpent of the deep, who guards the heart of the earth, rising to the people. Okay? I don't think there's anything else left to decode in this scene other than this. If you remember correctly, George Bush did this when the Twin Towers were falling. He went into a classroom. He was putting on a show for the kids. There was a teacher in the room that looked exactly like this. Even every bit of it was the same. Okay. Right as the Twin Towers were falling, he was putting on a show. Do you know what's crazy? You have the Antichrist pointing over to this lady in purple, in scarlet purple, like the woman on the shores of Babylon. You have the red and the blue, they make purple. He's pointing over at her, and if you look behind him, you have the destroyed temple of man. Just like it says, in the end, I will take those temples, those abominations raised up to the sun god. That's what they are. Okay? And I will destroy them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Sunday worship is the worship of the beast. Okay, I've done a whole decode on that in depth. Okay, this is the burning of church. This is why in that movie, The Messiah, the first thing that happens as far as destruction is the preacher's church burns down to the ground. Okay, that is the synagogue of Satan, where the blind lead the blind and stuff like this isn't taught, and they're teaching nothing but feel good stuff, so they feel good about themselves during the week, and they're eating their pagan feasts after their shortened 20 to 40 minute sermon filled with 40 minutes of feel good music, where they go to their feast and they start planning their Christmas pagan Nimrod birthdays. Okay, followed by their Christmas Eve, the one who gives birth to Nimrod. This is why I say Eve. This is why I say New Year's Eve, which is Janus's Eve, because she gave birth to Janus, the god Titan Janus. Before every pagan holiday, who is a pagan Titan, is the Eve, because Eve gives birth to paganism. Eve gives birth to Titans. Eve gives birth to all living, good and bad, dark and light. Okay? Now, this F here is the same thing as above, so below. Okay? You also have your two-ball cane in the center of this with the equal and the minus. What this is your masculine and feminine happenings as well. Your as above, so below. But this is the heavens up here. Okay? The arrow is pointing down. This is the husband coming down for his bride. This is the father descending to the what? The top. You see this area here where people live? This is the father descending down to his bride. Why? Because judgment is coming. I'm trying to tell you guys what I'm trying to warn you. He is in love with his mother, the whore, on the shores of Babylon. I think I've covered everything in this clip so far. All we know about the hand gestures, Freemasonries have their secret grips, handshakes, signs, and everything that they do. Okay? Like that. Okay? I don't know, so many people that loved George Bush, just like they love Donald Trump. Donald means ruler of the earth. And then you have John, who we've been talking about so many times here lately, the opener of the abyss. John's always the opener of the abyss and the time traveler. And then you have Trump, the last Trump of Babylon the Great, who he magged one last time. Okay? And his red tie as well. Donald Trump has a red tie as well. Now, here's this. There's a reason why the blue are the Democrats that bring demolition, demolish, destroy. That's what's happening right now as well. Okay, and then there's a change taking place. What's happening? The Osiris risen ritual. Okay, it's like he's trying to fight it, He knows that his time is up. His end of the deal is up. I sold my soul to the devil is what he's saying. I would never, my life. And you guys need to understand, you need to make yourself firm that if the devil ever comes up to you and he's like, I want you to do this, I will give you everything. Turn away. Because when the time comes to harvest, you too are going to be saying what Aleister Crowley said at his death. Oh no, why? What have I done? This is bad. This is dark. This is not good. When the change takes place, and I got to pass on all my authority on to the next one. Okay? And of course, the vril, the one eye symbolism. Oh, he got the eye of Ra. And you also have his mother's mark, the moon crescent on his rosy red cheek with the black sun above it. Are you seeing this on his cheek? You have the same crescent moon, but also an eclipse. This is an eclipse happening on his cheek with the black sun that everybody's calling Nibiru also as a freckle on his face. Okay? I don't think there's anything left in this one besides his big old sharp teeth and big nose. Now, why would they do that on his cheek? Well, the eclipse released the Titans. I've been telling you that. And the black sun above the earth. All right, once again, everything's been covered in the background. This ain't nothing but him putting on a show. Oh, wait. I done missed it. Hold on. Bing. Bing. By the way, the black sun was the eclipse. And like I said, the earth underneath you is the chamber of Leviathan that she guards. That was literally the black sun over Leviathan that you were seeing on his cheek. All right, pause. LOL. Why does that matter? Well, because of this. Bell, oh, bell, and LOL, okay? This is the passing on, okay? Like I've been telling you of Bell. This is the vril, the golden grill. This is the vril, the passing on of the vril. These are worms, rods in the Bible that turn to snakes, okay? These are worms, passing on of one worm with Ra, the black sun, the eclipse in the middle, on to the next sun. They're saying, do what you're told. Passing it on. Here we go. He's still not in control because he has officially graduated from the black sun, which is the black cube of Saturn. This is why when you graduate the school of fools and dummies. Okay? You get a black cube of Satan and Saturn on your head. This one has a purple scarlet whore of Babylon, purple hanging off his hat here of confusion because he has graduated from the confusion school. Okay, why does he have white hands? Well, that's Mr. Mime. Okay, he's putting on a show. He's trying to tell you stuff silently. This is what's coming. That's what the Kabbalah does. They tell you stuff silently. That's what the Freemasons do. They tell you stuff silently. They're like, I'm going to put this here. They're going to figure it out. This is important. I've been telling you guys about Eve. And since she's the guardian of the deep, and her blonde hair, because she was the guardian of the darkness of the deep also, okay? Pulled from the cage that guards the heart of Adam's heart, okay? She was pulled from the rib, the cage of the heart. The protector of the heart. The protector of the heart of the earth, Leviathan, Eve. Eve is the mother of Vril, Evril. Okay, this is Eve, blonde hair and blue eyes from being underneath the chamber of the earth. Okay, do you know why a rose is there? Okay, after the garden, the curse was, you will be cursed with thorns and thistles. Well, she's the beautiful rose. She's the daisy. This is why Daisy in Super Mario Bros. Has the blonde hair, blue eyes, and she's a daisy. They're beautiful. But if you go up to a rose, whether it's a red rose or like the white rose of Hunger Games, Captain, blonde hair, white hair, blue eyes itself, Snow, okay? Him and his white rose, the light-bearing rose, whereas he wears all white and coughs up blood in the end with his white roses with blood on them, okay? A rose, this is, once again, Lucy, Lucifer, all this stuff is all about this. They're beautiful. They're so beautiful, but they'll cut you. And then you have the apple down here. She's holding her apple. She was happy at first. She was happy for her. She's got a bunch of blue blood children that she pulled out of the water. Hence why, if you look back here at the bottom, you see these and the splatters. Okay. And you also see what looks like fins, like a fish. All these have different looks, but you can see they were pulled out of water. You have her blue blood children here, okay? It's very simple. You have her blue blood children here, and they're trapped. They're in prison. You see the prison bars around them? Now, remember, I told you, she is also the Jormungandr, Earth's necklace, and she's also Mother Earth. She is the mother of abominations. She's Mother Earth, and she's also Jormungandr's Earth necklace. That's why if you look on the floor, you not only see a crescent moon eclipsed by her, but you also see the ring of gold and copper surrounding her, because she is Jormungandr, Earth's beast, Earth's sea beast, Nephi. Okay? This is her, the guardian of the ring of the earth, where the humans and the beast live now. Because in the end, it says, I will let the tares and the wheats grow together. And at the time of harvest, first I will snatch up the tares, put them in bundles, and toss them in the lake of fire, and then gather my people into my new Jerusalem that's coming down from the third heaven. That's after the 1,000-year reign. You got to understand that. That don't happen before the 1,000-year reign. The 1,000-year reign, there's still death in the world. There's still sin in the world. He's just considered accursed, and he's going to die a little younger than 100. There's people that die of really old age. That means death is still in the world during the 1,000-year reign. It says that they will enjoy the work of their hands, for they will not be doing for somebody else during that time, which is why Tartaria was immaculate. And it says they will be with the beast of the earth. Okay? The Titans were not controlled by Satan for a short season. They were left there. That's why the Tartarian buildings, which Tartaria comes from the word Tartarus, which means the prison of the fallen. Who is the fallen? Who created the fall? Satan. He's the scapegoat who took the blame for all the fallen angels and was imprisoned in the heart of the earth inside of her chamber, hence the heart of the earth. Okay? This is awesome. Now, you ready for this? You remember I've been telling you about the vril? Do you notice anything about these children? How about the one eye symbolism? Every one of them has a head wound. One eye has a head wound. One eye. Keep your mouth closed. Look at the X over here. One eye, one eye, one eye, one eye, one eye. Scratched all up. Beat all up. Okay? Why? The vril, the worm that shall not die. Hence why when Herod died, it says the worms overtook his corpse. Worms, parasites are broken down Nephilim spirits, disembodied Nephilim spirits, meaning snakes, worms, caterpillars. And it says, we read this word for word in your Bibles 3 times last night, where the Bible says that he's talking about sending caterpillars among them. The thing about caterpillars, they're worms that come out of the heart of the earth that grow wings, like Lucifer, Cain, who became Metatron. Okay, Cain became Metatron through his son Enoch. When he did, he became a beast. He went from being the first beast to another beast. This is the one where he turned into what? He turned into a hawk. The first thing worshipped in Egypt was a hawk. He could ascend to the heavens. This is why Lucifer, how you have fallen. When he swatted him out of the sky, he grew wings as a beast. He was turned to a beast, and he says, I will ascend to the heavens. He starts flying up, and his wings are cut off, and he's tossed back down. Lucifer, Hellel, the shiny one, son of the morning, son of Satan. Okay? Then you have this. Do you guys remember the tortoise and the hare? Okay? You got to realize, she, being a serpentine, is a reptilian. She is the Leviathan god of the sea. Okay? Tortoises and turtles and crocodiles are the oldest living creatures who are known for the sea and surviving in the water. Okay? The story of the tortoise and the hare is the behemoth and the Leviathan as well. See, the trickster thought he was going to win. He was like, oh, I'm going against this slowpoke, Mr. Tortoise over here. And so the tortoise goes slow, but he ends up beating the hare. Okay? At the very end. Crazy, right? That's because of this. Do you know that rabbits are not just fertile, they are the fertilest? Fertility. Okay, and this is a white rabbit. You follow the white rabbit down the bunny hole, down the cave, like you follow Muhammad down the cave of secrets, like you follow Cain, the cave dweller, down for the secrets into the heart of the earth. This is Satan worship against Leviathan. But this elk, this deer, like the elk lodge of Freemasonry, and the deer horns, which, like I said, when Enoch, who was Metatron, after he was cast down to the earth, you realize what's a bird without its wings? It's just a hairy beast. Okay, that's why he went out to the fields as a beast. And Tubal tricked his blind dad Lamech. He said, "Look at that big beast in the field," and got his blind daddy to shoot him. And he says, "Wait, this is my great grandfather Cain. I'm cursed. I'm cursed." That's why Tubal had his grandfather tricked him. He's the trickster as well. He's another Loki in the making. And it says that he died because he became Tubal Cain / Gilgamesh. That's why in the movie Noah, he's got the snake skin wrapped around his arm. Tubal Cain does. He is Gilgamesh with the ark for the Nephilim in the heart of the earth. Okay? And well, my point was, when Lamech shot him in the field, it says that he was hairy and he had grown a horn. Okay? Very important. Now, this is important. Things are getting dark. You see it? The red dragon's at the door, but he's locked out. Okay? She's looking down. She's like, I made a mistake. What have I done? Why did I do this? All those children, I got the light shining down on me. And she's wearing a wedding dress as a bride. Now, remember I told you guys, every movie, there's an evil queen and a poisoned apple. Snow White. Okay. Have y'all seen Once Upon a Time? I'm doing a huge Once Upon a Time decode. I watched every episode and I've got a bunch together. I've just got to get past all this other stuff first. There's a lot to this right here. First of all, there's the eclipse happening by the apple of Satan, the chariot, the red sun / the black sun. Okay. There's an eclipse happening right here in front of you with the red sun, the black sun rolling across the Freemasonic floor. But guess what happens? It's split in two because I've been telling you guys, Eve had 2 seed lines. She's the mother of all. So because it has 2 seed lines and it's mixed with color, okay, there's this. You see the Semiramis moon? You see the half of the moon? You see the half of the pyramid. Why is that? Well, there's this. Half of the moon is the fertility worship of, once again, the moon was worshipped as the moon goddess, fertility goddess, giving birth to the what? Day. She was the one in charge of ruling the night as well, the darkness of the deep. Okay, that's where she's tied in as well. That's where the moon worship comes in. She gives birth to the morning sun. Then you got the pyramid. See, this is the womb of the woman. The crescent moon of Ishtar, Isis, Semiramis is the belly of the beast that's giving birth to abominations. Okay? This is the masculine male member, the male of darkness, because there was darkness once again over the face of the deep. But this is a representation of Eve. That's why the apple's like, skirt, I'm going to stay right here. Wait a second. Split into 2 seed lines. One of them has a tree grafted into it. Can you guess which seed line this one is? Well, this is, you got it. This is the good seed line with the tree grafted in with life. This is the bad one with death, mixing together, intertwining. After the garden, there was a fall and a beautiful lily. And we also talked about roses earlier. Okay? What happened is this. He's noticing that God is taking what he means for evil and truly using it for good. Out of the mixing of the seeds and out of the darkness still came beauty. He's like, oh no, what is this that has spawned up? Remember, it said, I will put enmity, hatred before you, but then it prophesied what was coming, and he will crush your head and you will strike his heel. Okay? He's been playing around. Okay, so here's this. As you come out here, he's scared to death. Literally. Zeus, the lightning bolt, the god of thunder, Nimrod, the lightning bolt, that above is a different color than below. The blue bloods above are scared of the below because they need some Psalm 23. Psalms. Okay? Psalm 2:3 right here. Okay? With the blue blood of R-A. Ra. That's why that's added there as well. They're set apart. And the S of Satan I was telling you about as well, intertwined with the R. He needs some Psalm 23. What's Psalm 23? Well, I'm glad you asked. I love to read the Bible. Okay? We'll read it together for those of you that are new here. I like to go through the word with you guys. Okay? Oh, that's going to blow your minds later. Hold on one second. I got to get this pulled up for you so you guys can see. Let's go through Psalm 23 together. Let's see if it's for somebody who's scared to death. Okay? Psalm 23. It seems Satan is scared. It seems Satan is nervous. It seems like he is all the things that he represents. It seems like Satan's got some anxiety. He needs some Psalm 23. He needs, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Don't fear Leviathan, don't fear the evil, don't fear evil's, for thou art with me. Thy rod, which is for wrath, which is for punishment, which the rod turned into a snake when Aaron approached them. Aaron would always throw out the wrath, okay? Moses would lead out with the staff. He would lead, Aaron would control the wrath. The wrath would always turn into one snake that would consume many. AKA, why God created Leviathan in the first place was for his wrath to be poured out on men. Men and women, but men. Okay? And technically it's women pouring it out on men. I don't blame them, man. Let's see it. Y'all seen the Barbie movie? Well, anyway. All right. So there's that. Okay? When it talks about thou preparest me a table in the presence of my enemies, we'll be eating Leviathan in the end. That's what it says. He's going to slay the beast and give us a feast. So y'all didn't even know that this was all about preparing to not be scared of the rod and not be scared of the staff. Don't be scared of those things. Okay? He's going to prepare us a table and he's going to prepare us a feast in the presence of his enemy, of our enemies. Okay? It's going to happen. So, there we go. So he's scared to death, right? And notice everything now is covered in snow this year immensely. There has been a blizzard. Something happened in this world here. There has been a snowstorm, like I was telling you guys. Winter is coming, as they say in Game of Thrones. Do you know what happened in Game of Thrones? When winter came, the Titans and the blue blood night walkers, darkness walkers, crossed the wall and invaded the kingdom. When winter came and darkness fell. Blackout's coming and Titans are coming, and they're going to separate the sheep from the goat, the tares from the wheat. Which one are you in this blue world? That's why they call the world the blue Bell. Okay, blue blood Bell Marduk, the blue Marduk ball, the blue marble. The blue blood Marbell, the blue blood Marduk. Okay, but do you know what he's in? I don't know why they didn't piece this together. This is a church. Okay, don't you see the steeple, the obelisk, right here, erected to the sun god? That's supposed to fall and collapse in the end day. It says, "I will destroy these temples built by the hands of man, where the blind lead the blind. The false prophets teach their false teachings in this church, that blue blood church, the synagogue of Satan. has caused the nation to divide. But notice, one side has the blue mixed in with the flag, the other does not. It's the red blood of Christ and the white of us being spotless because of his blood. Only the red and the white ascend to the heavens. The blue bloods mixed the stars. So it's crazy. Our flag puts it in plain sight. It's the American land of the feathered serpent, dragon, stars. The stars fell. The stars are in the blue because they were created from the waters. Okay, the mother of the waters. That's why stars on our flag are in the blue, but they're mixed with the copper. The copper is mixed with the iron of the earth. The blue bloods mixed with the red and the white, us. Okay, this is why if you take your mark of the beast, you're going to be stuck on the staff, the pole mounted to the earth. This pole is grounded in the earth, and they're staying there. But the bride of Christ up here, what's happening? You have those that are red and white ascending to the heavens as the others are staying mounted to the earth, mixed with the blue. One's marked, one is not. See? Now, I told you guys about the prison. This is a 15-minute city. There is no sun. There is no moon right now because you're going to see what happens. We're going to see why everything is dark. They show you. This is a 15-minute city where they round you up. It's a world emergency. There has been a frozen ice storm. They want you here. But watch this. Now, we've talked many times about the Twin Towers, but also this. What I see here is also two seed lines. One is white, one is blue. Okay? One is falling. One is falling. Okay? Then there's this. Always. Oh, wait. Oh. I want to show you this. Okay? Now, pause. Does anybody see the boat in the sky? The boat with the sails up here? Ra, the light bearer, and his boat in the sky. Okay? Just like on Moon Knight, just like on everything else. Okay? The Lord of the Air. And he's got a little lesser light coming from him. Now, watch this. Oh, I meant to tell you. This character right here is very important. Right here. This. Okay, this is Semiramis. This is Isis. This is Ishtar. This is everybody been talking about Eve. Okay, and a mask. What she does is she sees this. Okay, 9/11 happened. Okay, they got all this stuff happening going on in the background, destruction, all this stuff. She's like, okay, they're calling me in. What is she in charge of? She's in charge of the deep. So she's like, okay, I'm going to make myself at home. She descends down into the abyss, which is where we pick up with Anubis and the black boat of Ra, bringing in Osiris risen, the Antichrist. Okay? With an image of the beast. Image of the beast is the image of Satan, by the way. What is the image of Satan? Well, the image of Satan is, once again, why they picture Christ with the blonde hair, blue eyes, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, and a lot of the older pictures and everything else. Guess who brought in this eclipse, okay, as they bring in the Antichrist, okay? You have Osama bin Laden, and here's the eclipse. But guess what's happening? And you also have the CIA and the Eagle of America here because they're tied in, and you have the black wings here. Does everybody see the black wings? Apollyon the Destroyer as well happening with this guy, because we know that with the eclipse is the opening of the abyss. Okay, we have the darkness coming over, blacking out the sun with it. Watch this. Calling in the eclipse, saying, come out of her, because that's what he does. Remember, I told you, Pacific Rim, Godzilla, all of them start off with the oil rigs. The oil rigs are the first thing to get attacked by the Titans. Well, we talked about the oil rigs getting attacked in the ocean and the oil spill that took place first right before the Titans came up. Well, this has already happened. I pointed this out. This has already happened in the world. A whole oil rig went missing in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. An 88 portal number missing $88 million oil rig went missing in the middle of the ocean. Why? When? Well, when darkness came over the face of the earth. See the lightning? There's Zeus. He's like, it's time. Now watch what happens. There's the mixing of the oil and the water. Okay, the black blood. Okay, the black. I guess you can say like black goo. I've heard people call it. What that is the venom. Okay, that's the seed of the serpent. Hence why Zeus struck the oil rig. Okay, put his seed in the oil rig and struck it with his blue flame. Spread his seed. Sent it down real quick. And then what? He mixes his seed with the ocean exactly as I was telling you guys. And then I've been telling you guys at the start of this, the rest of the world's not going to be the ones really getting hit as hard as us. Mystery Babylon the Great. That's not a pre-1,000-year thing like everybody's. Look, you notice Lucifer, the light bearer of Babylon, is standing on the synagogue of Satan, the star of Raphael's star. Okay? And that's not even the star that goes. And look at this star. This forms a star of darkness. Darkness comes over the land. Snow is falling. Okay? Remember how the movie 2012 shows the Statue of Liberty just like this, buried by snow when darkness came over the land? Now remember, so far we have the eclipse happening. You have Leviathan that went with her Eve form descending down into the ocean to open the abyss. Okay? You have darkness coming over the land. You have Lucifer, the literal light bearer of Babylon the Great, okay, holding her book, his book. Why is it Lucifer? Because Semiramis couldn't put together all the parts of Nimrod. She couldn't put together his phallus because she kept it to impregnate herself with it, okay? Hence fertility worship. So Nimrod became a feminine and masculine. This is why transsexualism and homosexuality and all that stuff is happening right now. Okay? Perversion. All because of Lucy. That's why Lucifer over there on the shores of Babylon the Great, the top part of it is made of gold and brass. Okay? And you can go down with all the metals mentioned by the Nimrod. If you look at Nimrod statue, every metal is in this from top to bottom mixed with copper, blue blood. And he has the iron bars around his feet that are broken loose. Because I've been telling you, he's been set loose a long time ago with his daddy after the 1,000-year reign. He's broke loose out of his prison. And people don't want to admit it. That's an after the 1,000-year reign thing. Okay? Babylon the Great will fall. Now, this is what's crazy. When it falls, when the darkness comes. As soon as it gets dark and black, Mystery Babylon the Great will fall. That's us. The horror on the shores of Babylon. Teaching everybody English. Okay? Teaching everybody the name Jesus. I've gotten in depth about that. Okay? That only exists in the English language. Which literally, I've told you guys, before J was a thing and it was Roman numeral, it was Chi, which means God, okay? But then you have sus, which means pig. But you know what the number chi is? Jesus, okay? Is 600. And then you have xi, xi, chi, okay? That is 60. And then you have sus, s sustained. That is 6. So the name Jesus in Roman numerals in Greek is 666. People don't want to admit that. But he says, they will give him a false name to worship. And then it says, in the end, they will ponder on my name in your Bibles. Okay, that's why everybody's trying to figure it out right now. Okay, here's the thing. Everybody's like, but it says he'll preserve his word. If that's true, explain why there's 10,000 different versions of the Bible. There's one for the lesbian lady up the road. There's one for the man that wants an excuse to cheat on his wife. So there's a couple of pages missing from that one. It's all been twisted and scattered. It's up to you to pick it up and read it and find it out. Everybody's like, what version do you read? Every single one of them. Every one of them as much as I can, and I align them with each other to see what's been tricked and altered. Okay? Now, this is where things get nuts. Okay, so as soon as darkness comes over land, Babylon the Great and the horror on shores of Babylon will fall and be covered with snow. Babylon is America. From sea to shining sea. They say that for a reason. Shining one, from sea to shining sea now. It's the land taken over. Mystery, Babylon the Great. That's why we have a Lucifer the Light Bearer on the shores of New York City. We have a Lucifer the Light Bearer in Sin City, Las Vegas. Okay? Sodom and Gomorrah in the pits, right there in Death Valley. Okay? That's where true Sodom was if you haven't put that together. Right outside of literally the promised land, California, which was the land of Khaleesi, the mother of dragons, Canaan, before Joshua went in and ran out all the giants, which is all the giants were found over there, literally all throughout that desert. When Joshua ran them out and he claimed the promised land, no joke. And it's the land of milk and honey, which is why California offers everything. That's wine country. They grow literal. I went there, if you're asking. They grow literal olives. They grow oranges on the side of the road. They have so many cows. If you're not a happy cow, if you're not from California, apparently, and the ads say so. And honey, they have so many honey farms. They have so many trees. The biggest trees in the whole world are found in the promised land, California. They were referred to as the trees of Lebanon before. That's why the Freemasons have their own group called, this is nuts. Watch this, guys. The Freemasons actually have their own lodge called the trees, the tall cedars of Lebanon. Okay? This is a Freemasonic group right here. Would you look at the white cap on these guys? Okay? This is a Freemasonic lodge about the trees of Lebanon, the giant trees of Lebanon, which I've showed you guys on my I showed you guys on my Facebook page. I took a tree of the Bohemian Grove. Right outside of that, there's the Armstrong National Tree Park of a tree, a huge tree with a big giant face on it that was missing an eye on the tree outside of the path where I wasn't supposed to go. I have to have a picture of it. So there's that Freemason Lodge. I wonder why they have that. Well, there's a reason. In your Bible, it says the man that was blind his whole life, he could not see. It said that he gave him complete sight. And he said, I see men walking as trees. This is why the Wizard of Oz pictures trees walking. This is why the Lord of the Rings has trees walking. This is why I am Groot. It's a thing. Wizard of Oz got the trees throwing the red apples at Eve. Okay? Now, who is she? Well, she's the queen of Munchkin Land. She's the one who takes over with the red shoes and everything. Everybody looks to her. She's in charge of the portal. She's in charge of that whole thing. The guardian of the portal who landed on the Wicked Witch to become the new witch. Okay. Now, here's this. We got to get back going with this. Everything I've said to you guys is going to be confirmed right now. Do you remember I told you about the serpent mixing with the seed and it being the black serpent, darkness? Also, well, watch this. Here's the egg, the seed of the woman, okay? And it's being mixed with a seed of Satan. Only one eye, though, of this reptilian. This is a parasite, a vril, and it looks exactly like what I've been telling and showing people a while back that vril looked like. A sperm cell, okay? Hence fertility. Hence this. Guess where parasites go? When somebody dies, okay, they turn into like this grubbish worm decay thing, and it goes into the heart of the earth. From dust you came, to dust you shall return. That happens because we also break down in the dust of the earth. We must be made new. Nobody's going to come up covered in the same skin they got. We have to be made new, just like the saints who came out of their graves with Christ. Your preacher won't tell you this. It says word for word in your Bibles, okay? Abba, Abba, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then it says he gave up the ghost. And when he did, there was thunderings, there was lightnings, there was great earthquakes. Everything went dark because there was an eclipse, just like what happened on April 8th, because angel of death came, okay? And it says, many graves opened and many saints exited their tombs and entered into that holy city. Where? In the third heavens. This is why Mexicans worship the Day of the Dead. Because where is that at? That's over there by the Promised Land. That's why there's Joshua trees also in the Promised Land stretching to the heavens. That's why the only correct English translation is Joshua, the high priest of Israel, prophesied in the Old Testament. Joshua means God sent salvation. Okay? Joshua is the only correct English translation if you want to get specific. But you got to remember, J wasn't a letter, it's Yeshua. Okay? Yeshua. It is what it is. Now, how do I know? Well, Aramaic is Yesu. Greek, Yeshua. Hebrew, Yeshua. Both mean the same thing. God sent salvation. Completely tossing the Trinity in the trash. They created the name of the beast to give it an image of a beast to put in the back of these false churches to tell you that he is God. So that way you're calling the Pope Father, and he's got a mediator there that is the mediator that Christ is, because you did away with the Father. You only left the Son. They want you to call him Father, and you have to go, let him be the mediator. Christ is the mediator. Remember, Satan was the first angel. It says it in your Bible. Christ is the greater light that came after the lesser light. Everything good was created through him. He is not the Father. It never says that in your Bible. Stephen looks up and says, I see Christ standing at the right hand of the Father. In Revelation, he's looking around, he's like, who's worthy? And he looks at his son, the only one worthy, hands the scroll to his son. Go do your thing, son. That's why Christ has to go down, purge out all the wickedness, separate the tares from the wheat. Okay? He sends him, and then New Jerusalem and the Father come down in him all his glory, and he'll be the light in the presence of the people, and the Father will be the power giving them life, the tree of life. Woo! All right, this is awesome. Ready? Now, here's the real mixing with the seed. Here's Anubis entering what? Do you remember I told you that Apollyon released the beast from the bottomless pit? This is your Antichrist, who you have on the back of your pagan churches. Okay? By the way. Now watch this. You see the one-eye symbolism of the blue blood, white hair, blue skin, creature of real leftover parasite that's coming through a television screen? Well, he's mixed in with the child, with honey, just like Winnie the Pooh, blonde, mixed in, and blue eyes. And his head is cracked open because the real is in control of him. He has no control. He's scared to death. This little blonde and blue, pale skin, light-bearing, real host. The Antichrist. Watch. Now, do you see this? That's on the back of your dollar bills. Okay? That right there is on the back of your dollar bills. Like I say, it's the perversion. As above, so below. This right here is indeed the pyramid of Ra, which from upside down is a square, a cube ascending to the heavens as one. Everybody thinks a pyramid's a triangle. No, a pyramid's a square ascending to the heavens, which is how I believe Jerusalem, that's going to come down from the third heaven, is a pyramid. Why? Because it says 4 quarters square, okay, but then folded up upon each other. It just is what it is. I think it's a pyramid. I think that's Satan's obsession with making earthly pyramids, because he knows what New Jerusalem is going to be. Okay, and why? Well, because also he has mansions upon mansions. But as you get closer to the top, only the ones who serve, who humble themselves as a servant, will be at the top. It's going to be few that find that. Fewer rooms at the top with the Father at the top, and it's spreading out to the many at the bottom. And then there's those that are outside of the city and the kingdom, okay? Now, watch this. Now, this is him at birth. Like I said, everything we talked about, markets plunge, okay? But when it says plunge, guess what's there? Markets plunge. The U.S. dollar, 1436. War coming. Whoa. War coverage. Whoa, did you see that? War is coming too. Okay. Now, here comes your alien invasion. In the darkness. You see, there's still no sun now. There's no moon. Everything's black. because darkness has come up from the abyss again. Now, this has happened. This happened at the mosque, exactly like this. A lot of people, stuff that a lot of people have already covered in Decodes. I won't do too much because I know people kind of went through this. Now, what is this? You have the Ishtar eclipsed moon, okay, the giving birth, the black sun mixed with the world serpent. So that's what's crazy is when the black sun eclipses the sun, you can still see the ring of fire behind it. Okay, the ring of fire being Jormungandr, Earth's necklace. That's why she's worshipped as the moon, he's worshipped as the black sun. When they meet, they give birth to abominations of the deep. Okay, this is why it says he's going to destroy these earthly temples, all of them, including the ones that are labeled Church of Christ, including the ones that are labeled Church of the Baptist Church and Pentecostal churches, every church building assembled by the hands of man with an obelisk that he tells us word for word in the Old Testament, do not ascend any pillars unto Baal, the sun god. Yet every steeple is called an obelisk. What's an obelisk? It's the Nimrod's shaft, which is why the Washington Monument is also a steeple and obelisk that's 666 feet tall, the same height as Donald Trump's mansion, called Trump Tower. Okay, so this already happened. People are like, wow, I can't believe this show actually told us what's going to happen. The Kabbalah has to tell us what happened. It's speaking things into existence with them. It just is what it is. Now here's the bats coming out of the abyss. We're going to be talking about bats. We're going to be talking about the Batman. Okay? It's going to blow your minds. Coming out of the abyss of the woman. Now, like I said, this is the woman here. This is Semiramis, Isis, Ishtar, the mother of abominations, has been busted open. And bats, parasites, bloodsuckers are coming out of the abyss. Now, holy moly. I know a channel that's hung up on this and they didn't even say it right. So watch this. Let me tell you the truth about the moth and the flame. Okay? The moth is nothing to do with Satan. The moth, okay? This is going to blow your minds. I hope you're ready for this. This is moth and the flame. If you don't know, the moth turns into a flame. What is the flame? The wrath, okay? Watch this, guys. Do you remember I told you Eve is the moon? Okay, well. First, let's look at this. Did you know? Fun fact. Hold on. Let's see what I get. All right, did you know? Fun fact, okay? I think it should be pulling up here in just a sec. Yes. Sweet. Do you know that moths actually aren't drawn to light as previously thought? Study finds this year. Okay. Moths don't know which way is up when around artificial light sources. It's going to blow your minds. Do you guys know about this whole rabbit hole with the artificial sun? How it's fake to be worshipped. All right, watch this, guys. This is crazy stuff right now. Mothra, I don't know. All right, at night, and this is CNN, it's not unusual to find a horde of moths and other insects circling around a porch light or a street lamp, which is fake electric light, and they're flying around it. But their reasons for being there are likely quite different from what most people assume new research has found only a couple of months ago. The insects are not actually drawn to the glow like moths to flame, like the other channels are teaching, as the old saying suggests, but rather they're trapped in a disorienting orbit around an artificial light. Hope you put that together. What's happening now? Okay. So once again, when Mothra arrives, when Mothra comes onto the earth, moth to flame, when Moth comes up on the earth, okay, she is going to be circling around an artificial light, which is interesting when you find out that in Godzilla, the one that comes up from the abyss is, well, Moth Ra. Okay? Moth Ra. This is where the word mother comes. Mother of abominations. When Mother Mothra rises up, it's the end. Mothra, okay, is the wife of, remember I told you, she was turned into a moth, okay? And what was the beast of that time turned into? Well, you got it. Oh, wait. I didn't share it. I'm sorry. It's because I'm trying to get everything here. Hold on. One sec. I'll get it back for you guys. Boom. Okay. Moth Ra. Okay. The word mother comes from Madra, which is the mother and a mixing of Ra. Okay. A female. And in Godzilla, she is the Titan that comes up. She is the only one that can contend with Godzilla. Do you remember I said she was the second thing created? That Bat Ra, that her husband here, which is going to blow your minds. She is married to Bat Ra. Okay? Bat Ra is married to the guardian of Earth, Mothra. Okay? He was turned into a bat, hence Batman worship. So the red dragon was turned into a bat. She was turned into a moth. Do you know what's interesting about a moth? A moth is this, a worm, a caterpillar that emerges from the eggs laid in the ground that grows wings and flies. Okay? Now, watch what this boldly says here about Bat Ra. Over 12,000 years ago, there was a guardian of the earth named Mothra. At that time, there was an advanced civilization. I've been telling you guys, at the time of Mothra, there was Atlantis, the darkness over the face of the deep, on earth and the cosmos, the heavens. Meaning this, there was heaven and earth and Mothra. We're in perfect order. But then something terrible happened. There was a fall. Satan fell from the heavens. Some scientists created a device to control Earth's climate. Oh my goodness. The device greatly offended the Earth. Now, why would Leviathan be mad right now? Because we have an artificial sun above us? Why would Leviathan be mad and want to pour wrath on the Earth? Because Satan has deceived the world one last time. Okay? So she comes up for balance. This is why you have a fake sun above you right now, an electric sun. This is why it's going to get hot as crap. They're going to turn the heat up, and then they're going to turn the light off. Do you want to ask me? Electric lights work in gardens. I believe this. I believe the 3 days of darkness started with the eclipse, but they were prepared with another light. I believe our sun is gone. 1,000%. I believe that sun, like it says, it will stop doing what it's supposed to. They will change their orbits. They will change their motion. I believe that sun's gone. I believe we're left with an artificial sun right now, which is why if you take your camera and point it at it, you see little circles, like around circles, like you will with a light. Okay? All right. Now, I thought that was very interesting. Because once again, we have the Godzilla and Kong, the reptilian, the dragon of the earth, the male form dragon with the blue and the red mix, and we have the Nimrod the ape, okay, teaming up against Mothra. And we have Bat-Ra, her husband, bad one, okay, that fell and mated with Mothra, creating Titans. So we have Mothra, which is where Mother comes from, and Bat-Ra. Okay, now let's get on further because I got a lot I want to cover with you guys still. All right, let's get back to my pet goat. Okay. This is Semiramis. Where is she? She's in the rib cage. She's in the heart of the earth. This is why Burning Man happened in the whole desert, and it was in this same tent. It was considered the heart, the dome of the earth, and the temple was called the heart. Okay. I believe that was a fire and ice ritual, as many others do, with her star on her chest. Okay. And she's wearing a mask of sadness because I'm going to get to it later. You'll see why. And you also see Semiramis. Okay. She is the guardian of the underworld. She is the moth and the flame. She is the moth, the mother, and she's also the wrath. She is Semiramis. She is the Catholic Church Mother Mary, Mother of Tammuz. Okay. She is Ishtar, Isis, the Queen of Darkness. Okay. She gives birth to a child that's wrapped in mummy material because he's the real that cannot die, where the Egyptians first took her child, Cain. Okay. And they plucked out his eye to pass into Enoch. And if you don't believe me, wait till you see his face. And she's also holding her purple confusion. Now realize what's happening back here. An explosion. Something bad happened. Okay. And guess what else happens? Now you see the ring of fire also behind her. This is once again the whole Leviathan, the Earth's necklace, Mother Earth, eclipsed by the ring of fire. She is the ring of fire. That's why they call it by Antarctica the ring of fire. Now, the scarab beetle is Scar from Lion King. Scar meaning one eye. Scar, Ra. Okay, you have Ra. Okay, and then you have the beetle, which you're seeing right here, I believe was once again another time that we had a curse happen. Because remember, Ra was worshipped as a hawk and a beetle. The thing about a beetle, you know what a beetle does? It pushes its dung ball across the sky. Its black chariot. Now you see the one eye symbolism here. Okay, I've been telling you guys about the vril, the worm and the worm and the fire that shall not die. Okay, and I told you it's when Satan combines himself with his child, which is why Osiris combines with Ra. Hence Amun Ra, the end Ra. Okay, this is why Satan entered Judas. Okay, he entered him. This is why the pigs, remember the pigs you read about? Well, they had parasites cast out of one person into the pigs because pigs share 50% human DNA. I read you guys a book that was taken out of the Bible as well about Christ when he was younger. He went to go with some children to play with them, but the mothers hid the children from them because they thought Christ was different. So they told him he wasn't home. So Christ turned the children into pigs, which is another curse happening of people changing to animals, which is why pigs once again are worshipped, and they share half human DNA. And right now the doctors want to put some pig parts, which is Nephilim parts, in humans. So if you have a pig liver, you've now officially got a Nephilim part inside of you. If you're eating pigs, pigs don't have pores because they have to keep their parasites and their toxins and everything inside. When they sweat, everything stays inside. Okay, they're the number one cause of infections, bacteria, and every type of cancer, COVID, everything else in the world is caused by parasites, the worms that shall not die. Okay. So there's that. Now let's go on a little further. Now guess where he's going to go? You got it. Okay, and you see the sun on his back. I was trying to tell you guys. Now this is nuts. This is death. See death? Okay. You see the Pinocchio puppet here? Okay. And you see the war. This is Abaddon rising right here, bringing war and death and destruction. And he's hollow because the red sun is inside of him. This right here is the bringer of death, destruction, war, chaos. And he's being unwrapped like a present with a purple thing. He has a head wound. Remember, it says the first beast will come up okay, that you were seeing before with the parasite in his head. And then it says the second beast will come up with a head wound. Okay, this Antichrist has a crown with a red heart, and it's a head wound band-aid. Okay, so here you have Apollyon, Abaddon, the bringer of destruction, the one who opens the abyss and releases the grasshoppers, the locusts, the abominations of the beasts from the bottom of the ocean. Here he is. Okay. See? Now, do you remember this flower? This is what grew from the two seed lines mixing. Okay? Watch what happens. Now remember, I told you about Tubal Cain, the master builder, who got all the stuff from Satan. He could build and build and build. He could afford nice things. He could do what he wanted. He was a master builder, and he was also reaping the children. Okay? This is Tubal Cain. This is the Freemasons' plans. This is the agendas of the beast sinking. Okay? Dying. This is that seed line coming to an end as well. That flower that bloomed, well, it's going into, also sinking into the abyss. There will be weeping and gnashing in those days. Gnashing of teeth in those days. Okay? Now, do you remember I told you that the behemoth and the Leviathan, the last fight, the Armageddon, the battle of Gog and Magog is going to happen? Well, look. This is the yin and yang, the behemoth and the Leviathan, okay? The darkness and the light. This is the yin and the yang, Leviathan coming up to fight the behemoth, okay? This is the final battle of the Nephilim, which are half man, half fallen angel, and the Raphaim, which are pure blood, okay? Hence why the black sun on yin and yang is found on both sides, okay? But the light is taken out. Okay, now we have the destruction, the war coming in, all right? Now, as it crosses, now these are the destroyers. These are the black titans. And if you look, this is indeed a rib cage of a giant sea serpent, guys. Jormungandr. Jormungandr said, the story of Jormungandr is she, at the end of time at Armageddon, when the war starts, she will release the tail from her mouth, releasing the Kraken at first, okay? Releasing the Titans from the deep, which she guards, and she will put her tail back in her mouth between each one. It says when she releases her tail from her mouth, it will cause storms, earthquakes, disasters, and it will also release the Titans from the deep one by one every time. This is why when they come across the Leviathan, the bottom of the yin yang, they are lit up, ready for war. They're deactivated, but once they cross the Leviathan, they are active, ready for war. Now, we have this Russian-Ukraine war happening right now, okay? You need to understand that. Here's Russia, okay? Want to see her, how they picture it even? You can even see it. I can hear her cursing me out right now, okay? Holding a white flag. But she looks back at who? This is where things are going to get crazy. This right here is a bringer of death. This right here is the one pulling her strings. She wants to surrender so bad with the Ukraine war, the Russian-Ukraine war. She wants to surrender so bad. You see the purple and yellow? She wants to surrender so bad, but she can't. It has to happen. These things have to happen. And here comes the Antichrist, the image in which the beast has been given, that also, because of Hollywood and The Chosen, that image also now has a voice that speaks blasphemy. Okay? Like, I am the law of Moses. Like when he says things like that in the show and stuff. Now the image has a beast, and he's tied in with the snake's tongue, the basilisca, where the Pope speaks out of. Okay? Now he has this Antichrist here, light bearing, okay? Right here, that so many people are worshiping. Christ is not an image. He is a spirit and is to be worshipped in spirit and truth. We're to be baptized in water and spirit for spirit and truth. The baptism of John and the baptism of Christ. Without the baptism of John, it says there is no remission of sins. Without the cleansing of sins, there is no gift of the Holy Spirit. In order to have something holy enter inside of you, ye must be born again in water in order to have something holy enter inside of you. You must be washed clean. Water and spirit, spirit and truth, both, to become part of the body of Christ. The church will say, oh, no, that's a work. Don't you do any work. Christ says faith without his works are dead. Is it frozen? I see some people getting off of here. Oh, somebody mentioned the blue dragon. I want you to remember, this is the year of the blue dragon. This is the year of Leviathan. Everybody's like, oh, it's the year of Satan. No, this is China's year of the blue dragon. The red dragon had his turn. This is the year of the blue dragon. This is the year of Leviathan right now, which I said that a while back. I told you guys, I said it's coming. So, like I say, this is Osiris riding in the boat of Ra as Amun-Ra, the Antichrist, the son of perdition, with the burning heart. Okay? See the third eye open, the wisdom, and him trying to ascend, hence the pyramid. Now look at this. Satan's like, get up, do something, get up, do something. Watch this. Guess what's happening? Guess what this is? You got it. That's a uvula. Here he is, entering the mouth of Leviathan, the belly of the beast, the heart of the earth, the Antichrist with the black sun and the ring of fire, Satan and Eve and Tammuz. When you see these are not halos. What it is there's an eclipse happening. You have whoever's in front is eclipsing who's behind it and eclipsing from behind it, okay? This is the Antichrist, eclipsed by, well, technically it's Anubis here, which is he walks you, he guides you through the underworld, okay? Eclipsing who? The Antichrist, okay? Who is eclipsing who? Well, the black sun. Who is eclipsing who? The ring of fire. Who is eclipsing who? The mother, the guardian of the abyss, as he enters the blue blood belly of the beast. So you need to put this in order. There was an eclipse. Semiramis jumped into the ocean. She starts doing her enchantments in the heart in the chamber. She opens the abyss, brings the bats out of the mosque, out of the abyss. And here it is. You have these people, this Antichrist, and all this getting swallowed by Leviathan, Anubis, Ra, the Antichrist, all of them going through the heart of the earth, through the abyss, right? The kingdom is falling apart. Here's your moth and the flame. And here is an identical picture of who I was telling you, Semiramis, Isis, Ishtar, everybody else, Shiva. The 8-armed blue blood goddess also, which is what? There's Shiva. There's this, okay? That's the octopus. Octopuses are blue bloods with 8 arms and they're water gods, okay? This is Semiramis, Isis, Ishtar, Eve, the guardian of the abyss I've been telling you about. Dressed in her fine gold, with her star as her heart, her child. Now, guess what happens as she's doing her enchantment? You have these piranhas. Piranhas eat people. Piranhas are meat eaters. They're coming out of the waters and onto the boat of the Antichrist and everybody in the black boat of Ra. Okay? You have these beasts rising out, going after this Antichrist and Ra's boat in the sky. You have these titans released from the abyss coming up on the land. Now remember, at first it showed her in the abyss. These things came from the bottom up. She was in the deep looking up. See? She was in the deep looking up. She released the beast from the deep to come up on dry land. What are they? That's the synagogue. This is going to blow your minds, guys. Why are they black and white striped fish? Well, there's your Freemasonry. That is the delusion of the lesser light, okay, of Freemasonry. The dark and the light of Freemasonry happening here. The confusion. The black pope, the white pope, and the gray pope, the veil in between. Okay? What that means is this. These are mixed seeds, okay, but these are abominations coming out of the dark waters. The abyss has been opened. The creations of the black and the white have come up. The creations of the behemoth and Leviathan. Okay. Now you have the burning heart, the burning chamber, the sacrifice that has to be made. Okay. Here's what's crazy. Watch this. Pay attention to everything. This is a woman laying, this is a man laying on his back. That is a masculine male figure, and that's an obelisk with the light shining. Lucifer's Nimrod's shaft with the light shining of it, okay? And we are coming out of his abominationable butt. I've been telling everybody, this is the false church. This is the synagogue of Satan. This is the temple of Satan, where they have an obelisk on top, and you go through the anus, okay? This is where Uranus comes from as well. You go through the anus into the temple where you worship, and you go to the heart of the church and you give it money, sacrifices on the offering tables. Where on the back of the church, they have literal, the image of the beast, and then they're going to stand up there and talk about the paganistic, let's have a Christmas and an Easter egg hunt. Here's your churches. This is the false lighthouse of Freemasonry. This is the temple, the synagogue of Satan, the beast itself. Is where this comes out of. Now watch this. It even points to it. Perverted. Okay? Perverted. See? It's so perverted. I don't even think anybody else even pointed that out. Now, guess what's at the top? Tammuz. Why? Because you got to understand, he gives birth to the Antichrist. Okay? That's the whole thing. This is the Ankh of Egypt. Christ died on a pole, a stake, a tree. They want you worshiping the idol cross of Tammuz that goes back to Nimrod's day. It's an idol. This is the temple of Satan. Look, there's his heart, his love. Okay? Now, I am going to, if you have children, and if you're sensitive to certain things, realize this is a decode number 1. Cover your face, cover your eyes, just listen, okay? This is the old woman with the purple hair, the white hair. Watch this. The one that gives birth to abominations in the prison of the deep. Okay? Remember, it says that she'll be in distress. She's about to give birth. It's gross. Now, this represents the sagginess. She's been used up. She's been abused. She's got her staff, her rod. She has been nothing but a chamber of someone to rape her and to make children. If you don't believe me, here it comes. She's about to give birth, but it died. But he saved it. It was turned white as snow. Hence why the bride, and we're the... Anyway. Here's this. Coming out of what? Well, that's, like I said, that's going up where the light shines out. Here she is, opening the portal to the abyss, coming on to men's land. This is us here. This is all of us. I told you guys, the first things that are going to happen is war. World War III is going to kick off, whether there's nukes happening, all that, whatever. It's going to lead to warships in our ocean. And while those warships are out there, those titans of the abyss are going to make their first attack on them as they surround the land that he loves and the camp of the saints. We are the melting pot of the world. All those that are in the world have been told to come to the melting pot, okay, for freedom. Okay, we're the melting pot. We're surrounded on the shores. We're the head of trades. This is why the World Trade Center is not in China. The World Trade Center is not in any other part of the world except for in Mystery Babylon, the trade center of the world. Okay? Now realize the abyss has been opened. The Antichrist has come out of the abyss. Here's Apollyon, Abaddon, the destroyer, the Antichrist, blonde hair, blue-eyed, the false Christ of the world. As soon as he comes out, he causes destruction, death to a third part of the earth. Someone's getting nuked and someone's getting destroyed as the burning heart rises. But you see the vril, he's getting scared. He's scared to death. Satan has left his host. He's scared because he knows what follows. Look. He's having this thoughts now. He's like, wait, maybe I can change. I'm gonna go on a real big story with you guys. I'm coming up. There went. By the way, I told you that was the bringer of death orchestrating everything in the background there. Orchestrating everything. Remember Russia and the war of Russia-Ukraine? They wanted to surrender, but he wouldn't let them. That's why they've been putting off this surrender for a while. They want to surrender, but he won't let them. He won't let them. So guess what? Here's the son of perdition rising. And guess what he does? He eclipses his mom, the moon. This is Cain, the real, the worm that shall not die. This is Osiris literally risen with the parasite, the bug, the eye of Ra entered into his right eye, ascending to Semiramis, the rise of the beast, the rise of the Antichrist, and the false church, the false temple of mystery Babylon the Great. There he is, Abaddon rising, Apollyon rising in the dark world. And who's making it happen? Ishtar Semiramis, who is dressed like a reptile mask because she put on her second mask. Okay, it's time to. Now you see the water down there representing the waters of the deep. She's doing her chant. She's ready to call it up. Look, I told you. She went from being one thing to another. Here is the owl. Okay, the Ishtar owl. Or if you want to say Mothra. Mothra. Now look. Strange. Here it comes. There's what's happening. Coming out of the bottomless pit. It says, so the sun, it says it'll be like, he said, when the Son of Man comes, it'll be like like Jonah, okay? 3 days, 3 nights in the heart, the belly of the beast, the heart of the earth. 3 days of darkness. Okay? So all that happened with the darkness, but he is leading the people through. So he's going to look like a hero because he got through the darkness and all of that stuff, right? Wrong. Remember, the Antichrist fools the world. I bet they make another one of these at some point. He thought he fooled the world. He's like, I saved them. I was the hero. I got them through the belly of the beast. Here's my temple, my synagogue of Satan, what I was just telling you about. The heart of, oh man, watch this. Remember, it says after all that, when God comes, he's going to destroy everything. It says when he enters into the land that he loves, fire will come down and consume them. And it says he will destroy those old temples, those ways, and everything else. And what else will he destroy last? The Antichrist. Hence the cross of Tammuz falling. The kingdom of Satan, the synagogue of Satan, coming out of the belly of the beast, the heart of the earth. You can guess what this is, okay? Falling. Okay, the birthing canal gave birth. Good job there. Okay? And it says the things are going to rise out of the abyss. The things are going to come out of the abyss. And fire is going to come down and consume them. But do you know what else comes out of the abyss first? Scorpions. With tails like scorpions. It says that. It says there's going to be these huge titan grasshoppers, locusts, with tails like scorpions. Do y'all not see the big, I hope you can see my mouse. Let me see. I hope you see the big scorpion. This is a huge titan scorpion that has rose out of the abyss. Because remember, it's the scorpion king, the locust king, Apollyon, the leader of the cicadas, the leader of the locusts, okay? Here's your scorpions rising out of the abyss, the titans. But what is that followed by? As soon as they set foot in the land that he loves, fire will come down and destroy all their things. Here it is. You have the greater light coming at the end to destroy all things. It says, word for word, we all must go through first death. It is what it is. It's second death that has no sting. Don't you be scared to die, to be absent in the body, in the presence of the Lord. Okay? Understand this. It is what it is. The first thing he's going to do is separate the tares from the wheat. He's going to pull out the children of Satan. And then he says, them that remain will be gathered into his barn. How does that happen? Well, we still must die of this flesh. It just is what it is. Okay? Those that remain. Now, what that means is this, okay? Whether we are just, our bodies drop like the two witnesses, they just drop and our spirits ascend to the heavens. I'm pretty sure maybe that's what be, and we'll meet him coming down. Is that a rapture? No. The false teachers and false prophets have you thinking the opposite. They make you think that Christ said this. They make you think that Christ said, first, separate the wheat from the tares. Take the wheat out, put them in my barn, and then take the tares and toss them in the lake of fire. Don't twist the word of God. It's no rapture first. It says word for word. At the time of harvest, remember the sickle? At the time of harvest, first snatch up the tares from amongst the wheat, put them in bundles, toss them into the lake of fire, and then gather my people into my barn. By the way, this is made by Heliofont, and it's all about the eclipse and the opening of the abyss. Hell, this is a Hell fan, Heli fan. Hela is the guardian of the abyss. Hela is the wife of Zeus. You have the fang and the cross right here of the Antichrist. Wow. Helios, Apollyon. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I think that's it. Yes, there we go. I want you to see that too. You see the second sun there? You see that? And everybody's like, it's Nibiru. No, it's not. One's a real sun, one's an artificial sun being eclipsed. Okay. Oh. So there's that. Let me see what time it is. Let me see. I gotta get out of this part. Yes, this is that. Good gracious, my wife's gonna kick my tail. It's 2:47. I said an hour and a half, and I go an hour and 20 minutes over. I'm gonna pause because I got so much more to unpack with you tomorrow. You wait. I ain't even started. Just to show you kind of a teaser. Okay. I will show you guys what we've got kind of coming up tomorrow. If she lets me. It might be the next day. I've worked every day and night. I didn't sleep really at all last night. You guys saw me on Facebook at 5:30 this morning and at 12:30 last night. Father just pushing me forward. But here we go. Watch this. I want to show you guys a little teaser, I guess, of what we've got coming. Okay. You know, I shared a whole lot of information with you guys. Well, if you look here, we haven't even began to touch it. We got a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot. Okay. We're going to look at Mothra. We're going to look at this. Donald Trump. Okay. Do you know that Donald Trump has called himself Superman? Do you know Donald Trump is selling NFT cards, and this is the picture on it? This is his picture with the cross of Tammuz on his chest as well, being the red, right? He's got the red mixed with the blue. That's the mixing of the serpent seeds too. That's the whole point about it. The red and the blue make purple. Well, Donald Trump wants to be Superman, but don't you know also that I couldn't believe I found this. See, there's a good and a bad right now, right? Supposedly, but by good I mean Apollo was the light bearer, the false light. Okay, and then there's the red dragon. King Charles is the red dragon. This is Apollyon, son of Semiramis, Cain, who's going up against the red dragon. Gog and Magog. Donald Trump wants to be Superman, but I don't know if you know this. I think I gotta, let me see where it is. One sec. We've got so much to go through tomorrow. Don't blow your minds. Can't find it. Well, if you look behind me, you see, let me see, we'll do it like this. If you look behind me, you see this. Here's him in his Superman outfit. But here's King Charles over here as Batman. That's a real picture. He did it to honor grandfathers. Okay? We're going to touch on all of that tomorrow with some mind-blowing stuff. So we have a Batman against a Superman. One is going to be made to look like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, light-bearing hero. The other one is the dragon. We've got a war between Gog and Magog happening, folks. Two kings at war with one another. So thought you would like that. But we've got a whole lot. Oh wait, I didn't even show you. I forgot to get to those screen. Oh no, I didn't. It worked. So there's that. And if you don't see all of the stuff with the picture of him and Baal, I told you Baal is Satan. Okay, there's that. Like I said, we have Donald Trump, which is Apollyon, which is Cain, which is Osiris, which is everybody else light-bearing Antichrist, Apollyon. And we have the red dragon on this side. Red dragon, known as Batman with fangs. Apollyon, the light bearer, and his chariot. Okay. But that's only like a touch on it. Like I said, I have so much I want to go through with you tomorrow. So I'm going to do a part 2. It'll be light against dark, I guess, again, or something like that. Okay. Now, I want you to know something I thought was cool was every bad, like there's Superman and there's Syndrome. Okay. And then we have this. We have the lightning bolt of Nimrod, which is the S inverted. We have the backwards S. And then we have the Flash, all that stuff. S is always that symbol. Then we have NASA. They have that letter S, but they took the T, the resurrection, the cross out. Okay. T minus. This is why they say T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Nasha. Blast off. Deception. Okay. Here we go. Good. You got to understand, everybody's still hung up on Obama. Obama has been passed on to Trump via the Osiris risen ritual. They have the same evil inside of them. Okay. One, Abaddon the Destroyer, Apollyon, had to bring, you got to realize they're the masters of dark and light. They have a mixture of light and dark inside of them. They had to have a distraction to make way for Apollyon. They had to make a way. Yes, clowns. Absolutely. They put on a show. Black, white, and red. Okay. White skin. So there's that. I'm going to leave everything else up here, though, because like I say, we've got a mess load. Wario and Mario, Luigi, and a bad Luigi. We're going to be doing a Super Mario Bros. Breakdown on top of some other crap. It's going to be intense. You guys are going to love tomorrow. Well, I have 153 of you up here, though, right now. I'm going to ask if you guys could please hit that like and or share button and any of the other buttons you want to get a little jumps and more people can jump back in this. Please hit the share button on your platforms, as I am demonetized and heavily restricted on Facebook and YouTube. I'm fresh. I only got 4,000 followers. Okay, so I need to get this out there. If you guys can hit that share button, that would be phenomenal. But there's going to be so much more stuff we're going to uncover here in the next couple of days that I have not even touched on yet. But I do think I need to make a stop here because I need to go in with my family. All right. So I will close with this. Make sure you guys are keeping up with me on Facebook, Beyond the Veil. If you can't find me there, type in Dustin R. Barr on Facebook. I think I'm like the only one that will pop up with me and my wife. I have a little bit shorter hair. Go there, follow that page, and you can go straight over to my testimony, which is pinned at the top. Dustin R. Barr has Beyond the Veil pinned at the top with my face telling a story of my whole life. Click that, watch it, go to Beyond the Veil, hit follow there. You don't have to hit subscribe. I don't even get the money anymore. I think they canceled those subscriptions for the people donating anyway. It was only 99 cents. So that being said, I have zero source of income right now. And this is what I'm doing with my life, trusting in God to get me through it. So if you guys want to donate to this ministry, help it out whatsoever, I'm going to put this information at the bottom. Until then, I will continue going regardless. I do want to say this, though. A little surprise for you guys. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I will be meeting up with Miss Tabitha Pollard here in North Carolina for a baptism. Okay? That'll be posted for you guys. I'm so excited. Okay? For those of you who don't know, I'm starting back up my baptism ministry, and I'm going to start back from North Carolina and head on back out across the United States. Like John the Baptist going nuts. Okay? So I'm pretty excited about that. I do want to say also, if you could, really honestly, please pray for me. Last night I'm still driving my wife crazy. I can't sleep. Okay. Hey, Miss Tabitha, there you're listening. I love you. I will see you in the morning, sweet lady. Okay, everybody, please pray for that sweet lady. Remember, the devil will do something to distract you or whatever. Don't you let it distract you. I'll be there with my big old Baptist tub in the morning. Okay. Pumped up. Are you doing weddings? I am indeed an ordained pastor legally, signed by all the pastors, handed down and done with the laying on of the hands. I am an ordained pastor, and I was a Dean's List student in college. So by law, technically, I am a pastor. But that's all man created. Yes, I can do a wedding, but know this. A true wedding is when you become one flesh with your wife. Hence a midwife. Okay? Also, you had to do something with that. Okay? So there's that. You head back to Ohio, keep us in mind. Dylan wants to. Awesome! Miss Kimmy. I didn't see you up here. Okay, cool. Awesome. Come to Australia. I am. I really am. I'm going to go to Australia, and I got to go to Canada, and I have to go over to like 3 other places, including back to India. But I have to finish up over here in the United States first, because we're going to get destroyed first, I believe. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. I am so sorry it was 3 hours long again. When you have fun, time flies. Felt like 10 minutes to me. I can do this all night. Some people can't even sit through a video, and they like watching me sit here and talk for hours. But it is what it is. Love you guys. Like I said, keep Miss Tabitha in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers. And man, be ready for it. It's not like the Bible don't tell us word for word what to do. That's the whole point. Somebody said today, they're like, what's the point in posting all this when we don't even know what to do? I'm saying, look, you got to pick up that Bible. You got to look at it. It tells you word for word what to do, where to go, how to feel, what to see, what to say. Do not worry about what you're going to say in those days. The world will, the Father will give you a voice to speak in a way in which they cannot resist. What is that voice crying out in the wilderness? John was proclaiming the word of God, Christ. When you don't know what you're going to say, when we are weak, he is strong. He will give you a word to speak. He will give you an action to do. It's called adrenaline, the God gene that Satan's obsessed with. Okay? When we are weak, he is strong. Don't you be scared. When a Titan rises up in front of you, you do like Enoch did. You stand there. No joke. No faith. Man, Daniel stood in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego stood in the fire. Okay? You got the story, the book of Jasher taken out where it talks word for word about Abraham and his righteousness standing there beside Lot's dad who was killed. And you wonder why you don't know where Lot come from and why Abraham had to take him underneath his wing. Abraham saw Lot's dad drop dead right beside of him in the fire because he lacked faith. Yet Abraham stood strong in the fire multiple days, not even just one. Stand in the fire. Okay? If he's coming on fire, if he came on fire, I don't care what he does on fire. I know that he says we can stand in the fire. Apparently, we too are worms in the fire that cannot die. Pretty awesome. Love you guys. I'm going to get off here. I could sit here all night, but I know I got to get in now. I'll see you guys soon in the next couple of days. Keep a lookout. Thank you guys. Have you a great night and or day wherever you're at. And you remember the Father loves you and he sent his son to save your life. He's coming again to send him again to slay this beast too. You stand there and watch it. We're going to eat that thing. You guys have a good night. Good night from beyond the veil.